muerto. Pueden sobrevivir, no sé, Ziz. Casi muerto por parte de Giga de Fuego. Venganza del objetivo. Doble kill por Elona.
Immediately, they heard me say it. They were like, I'm the weak link. No, man, no. Hold on. Check this out. Yamoja! Crease their Nikes. They just take them out.
Giving Zapman space to let his ults rip, put out a bunch of damage, gathering around this Anubis, popping 5 shells. Tilo, five shells.
Show the sheet.
It's time.
No,
Do this
Tess,
cheat.
bring it back. Tess, bring it back. We gotta show
Production, put me back in the sheet. I don't
Tess,
care
bring it
about
back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Look at this. Look at this.
Look at that. Look at that.
Buy right
Look
now.
at that.
Right
Profit.
now.
Look within. Yeah, I mean, there it is.
They did
What
it.
do you do? They did it, yeah.
They definitely killed them. They definitely killed them. Look at those Minotaurs. They're kissing. Bro, love minion love. That's sick.
I mean, there's no way you're getting out of that one. That is a rough one for sure. You got a very angry Zeus, Athena on the chain. Wait a minute. Did I just hurt myself? I did. There was no way. Anubis was dead to rights. That had to be a throw. There's no way.
The emoji trying to step up. You have to pursue the weak, forcing Neath back, forcing the bead, forcing them into the grave. Haddix is here, and that aggression's well played. Panic Cat goes down. Cats and dogs, me oh my, so much damage, fine okay. Gets taken out there for being held in place by wrong use jaws. FG finally put up for the claim. It's oh so scrumptious. Hello everyone and welcome to Smite in the Sewer. It's good to be back and with a brand new series, Smite in the Sewer pickups here. I'm Dilo, joined here by not a Valve game, better known as Valvent. Tess, Almighty Eye in the Sky. Valve, how we feeling?
Nobody calls me Valent. Nobody calls me Valent.
Tess calls you it all the time, you just don't know. It's so clever. It's so clever though. Valvent.
I'm indifferent about that. But I'm excited about these games. I'm very excited about these games because you know what? I'm not too familiar with these players in these games, but I know that Smite 2 is always fun to watch. So I'm excited for them.
Absolutely. It's the Sewer Rats up against the Muckmen. Just to explain to you how this all works out, we select 2 captains, and just like your good old kickball games on the playground, that is so messed up. You're going to be picking up through 10 lovely Sewer members. Now, Afro being banned away, Valve, you might not know too much about these players. I certainly have got the lowdown. Ninja one-tricks this character just as much as I do Ymir. That is such a rude call-out. Her god pool's been reduced to 0.
I'm going to be honest, Aphrodite is absolutely broken. So even if it is a call-out, that character is bonkers right now. So that is a call-out and a good ban because of how powerful Aphrodite is. Nuwa in response, that is also another character that Aphrodite does very well into. So I'm not surprised to see them get rid of it. Nuwa did just get some adjustments recently. Minion health, a shift on that. And Nuwa's a very passive, sit under tower, cast fog character from the recent, from what I've seen with her. So, you know, they want to get people to get active. So it's, not allowing you to sit under tower for that. Nemesis first pick, though. That's interesting.
That actually is really interesting because I do remember hearing... Oh, actually, hold on a second. I am now realizing. Sureth, Muckman, Tess, come on, switch the names. Muckmen was the name of Z-Tan's team. So embarrassing. Taco selected that specifically because they want to be a little Sureth scuttling around, but Nemesis. And this makes sense. I heard some overhead comms from Z-Tan's team that said we're going to pick Nemesis and abuse the hell out of her. And it seems that's exactly what they want to try to entail with Athena being picked up here. We know that's going on to Latent and Medusa slotted in right alongside.
The classic combo, Athena taunt into the Medusa stare. That is a newly added combo to Smite 2, and that is one that has been in Smite 1 since Medusa's release. You're not supposed to look at her, but when you have to look at her, that's a guaranteed stun. On her Kepri to return it, that is a aggressive lane, and one that has pretty good clear too.
Dear God, I have no idea where these picks would be going to. I've got to imagine Cat might be rocking support here, but I'm not sure. She also has got carry potential, so I'm expecting her to be walking the duo lane either way. And Neath, Bellona is the answer here. A ton of physical threats, but if I know one thing, it's that Leighton's running this Athena in the jungle, so do not be slouching on this character. She can be so threatening when you get that amazing Hydra's build that Leighton spends so much time in the kitchen cooking up. Poseidon being locked in here for Muckmen, and Baron Samity finishes the comp.
That is a gross composition. You got the Kepri for the protection, the Poseidon Nemesis for the chase down and the kill pressure, Baron Samedi for that annoying nature that he has, just throwing stuff, healing his team, running around. And Onher's got that reliable ADC damage with a gigantic slow. So that is a real annoying comp to deal with. And the Sewer Rats have a pretty annoying comp as well. But the combo from the Athena Medusa plus all the burst damage the Neath can provide is something that's scary. This Yamoja rounds it out really well with forcing them into a corridor for all of that to hit. So that's
Yeah.
rounds it out real good.
And then that war flag that Bologna's going to plant down, everyone's going to be very confined in these fights. So, of course, that buff naturally is going to be hitting all 5 of your teammates. And if they're down that corridor, it just makes it all the more easy. You only have 2 directions to look in, and one of them very well could be in those loving eyes of the Medusa. So Sewer Rats have got an idea. Confine, kill.
You can't get caught looking. And unfortunately, most of the time, you might get caught looking. We'll have to see that AoE Purification Talisman come out, most likely either from the Kepri, from the Baron, or both. And some beads are going to have to be picked up for some of the people on Mukben, because that is a deadly combo. Medusa just was added in, and the mixed scaling she has means the builds are going to be pretty interesting from this Medusa. I wonder what she's going to look into. A lot of what I've seen, the Bracer of the Abyss seems to be a pretty good item on her, and for a lot of these hybrid hunters. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that picked up. I do want to know is if it's Neath mid or Medusa mid, because that's a kind of, you know, could be interesting. We could see a Dardes pulled here and a go Athena mid, but I feel like it's going to be Medusa or Neath.
I'm nearly positive knowing Ninja. The one other god that's kind of in her god pool is going to be that Neath, but will she have the strands to weave together a W for her team? Let's find out in a game.
You know, this Poseidon, I haven't seen it played in competitive just yet because it wasn't allowed the last week in the competitive circuit. It wasn't allowed. So I'm super excited to see it just played in this. It's not as serious as a competitive. You're not playing for spot and lane or anything, but I'm super excited to see it on from this perspective because Poseidon has been an absolute terror in ranked games from scrims I've watched. It's absolutely wild, and I want to see what can be done with it.
Sewer bragging rights are just as much worthwhile as any amount of diamonds or real-life cash. So honestly, they're playing, I'd argue, Valve, there's more at stake here as the Muckmen and Sewer Rats assume their positions. And you know who's assuming that position for the Poseidon? It's Akamaru 7. And that's someone who we know is just loaded up Smite for the first time. They're adjusting after having taken a bit of a sabbatical from competitive Smite. They were very prominent in the Smite 1 competitive scene. Is Poseidon a good god for this guy to be starting out on?
This is the one who finished the tutorial just before this, yes?
Yes, that is Ken.
Now, Poseidon is not a difficult character to play in certain senses, right? You've got a pretty cut and dry what you want to do with him, right? You want to whirlpool, Kraken, do all your damage. You also want to run around in circles with that fast movement with the trident and everything. And, but then again, there is also some intricacies to his kit, how you want to set up your combo, how you want to throw it, where you want to go with your movement, how you want to use your Kraken. So we'll have to see how he does it. You said he's taken a break from competitive Smite, from Smite as a whole. Oh, whoa!
Blatant, though, gonna make Zetan take a break from life. A beautiful first blood there dropped in the mid lane. If they thought that Ninja was gonna be free farmed, they have been sorely mistaken.
They have been mistaken. Now, I actually want to talk about this lane, Bologna versus Baron Samedi. Once Baron Samedi hits a certain point, this lane is going to suck for Bologna. Bologna is going to be miserable. That anti-attack speed from that Hysteria on the one, it is going to be no fun for her. But right now, Bologna does have the advantage. I love that she picked up this anti-heal item. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. I'm still learning the items, but this is a Ruinous Poison.
Ruinous Poison. Damn it!
That's the T. I think the other one is Venomous Poison.
Yes.
But the T1 of that is so good at the Baron Samedi. Uh-oh.
This could be trouble here for Akamaru. Taunted back in, and now Ninja trying to add on the rest of the damage. The backflip comes a bit too late, and Akamaru able to sail to calmer waters, but not without a very near miss. Great consigned spare. It's going to keep Baron Samedi in the game. You said this is going to suck for Bologna later. It already sucks now. Zetan goes in there, puts a few slashes in her back, but she still survives.
You know, the Poseidon here held on to his beads in that situation. You were talking about worried about him being. I'm not too worried now because he held on. He knew he was gonna live there. I think because he was not concerned about dying there. But this Bologna should be a bit more concerned about dying. Z10 doesn't seem to be concerned about towers because that's how he fell for the first one before. I think he dashed into tower and then was taunted back into it, taking 2 tower shots. We didn't see it, but little bit of a wild engage there for a kill, but it was you know, he held on to those beads. He didn't think that it was necessary to use them, and honestly it wasn't because he lived. He got the knockaway underneath and there was no follow-up damage.
And now he's trying to follow up with his own damage there. Being able to out-clear with that Minotaur is going to be awfully useful. I'm really curious to see how this mid lane matchup develops because Ninja as well plays Smite more recently, but Smite 2 has not played it barely a lick, so both of these mid laners are going to be kind of feeling things out. They have their own little experiments they're running in this mid lane. Left side hasn't seen too much action just yet, but Z-Tan's about to change that. Impale splits the difference, and there's the lacerate there from the Medusa. Takes down quite a nice kitty cat. Nemesis moves their way on in, but Athena stomps down the beetle. You can't stop yourself but look. Leighton finds the double kill, and the killing spree on top. It's 3 more for the Rats.
That is brutal. That is a brutal turnaround. The Athena coming in at the perfect time. Z-Tan fallen very far behind now because of that turnaround too. That is a huge sweep in the favor of the Athena. Did he get 2 levels off that? No, he got 1. He's level 6. He got 1 full level off those kills, but Shrew falls down and right.
Oh no, Diamond King going to finally spill some blood here on the right side. 4 minutes, it's already 5-0. Brilliant work here from the Sewer Rats. Overall, veteran experience in competitive Smite does not matter if you just don't know this game. It's a new playground they're in, and Muckmen have got to adapt quick.
It is a new playground, and it is a fascinating playground to see because you saw that how that was executed. Nemesis went in, and then Athena was like, all right, instantly I'm coming over there because I know that we could turn this around and just nuke them. Nemesis had the start of that fight, and she had the rotation in. On her already fell, unfortunately. If on her's there, that might go a bit differently, but on her falling immediately means that it's on her to do the damage, because Khepri, unfortunately, does not do damage. He does not do that much. He'll offer you a little bit, but he's not too much of a big damage dealer. He doesn't pump in the numbers. But Athena turning that around makes that whole situation pretty much unsalvageable for Zombie there because of how much protection that goes onto that target, and Athena just absolutely nukes them both.
I mean, when you think about it, Valve, look at the comp on Sewer Rats. It's something we neglected to mention, but it is very important. 2 global ultimates here on Sewer Rats. They can instantly have 2 members of their team be part of any fight. Neith, of course, a bit less committal, but still her presence and impact will be incredibly useful. We're already seeing these rotations come out here from the support, but the fact that Sewer Rats can just instantly kind of make their space known at the drop of a hat, it's going to be incredibly pivotal.
I loved the fact that Umoja just threw the bubble into the jungle just to get that stun up, so it's set up for the Medusa, but Medusa's looking for more.
Ooh, and the Acid Spit will find it. Its cat goes down there, her face melted away. Z-Tan trying to find a response. There's just so many holes that are slowly forming, and you can only be in one place at a time here. 6 minutes. 3,000 now gold lead here for Sewer Rats. Trying to pick up the speed buff. Could be something to get yourself a bit back in. Is the confirm good enough? I don't think it actually was even grabbed by Z-Tan, and now the Riptide's gonna bring you in all nice and close like those 2 global ultimates. Instantly gonna find a shot in his back, and Leighton takes 1 more kill.
That is... I feel like that's a solo lane moment that just occurred to their jungler right there. That is a Smite 1 solo lane moment, and Athena ult comes down on the target that you're getting away from or you're going on. This is tragic, but the Kepriel comes out to save him, but he's stuck in the wall!
Puts him right in the waves! Hey, a great Phantom Shell, though. That's gonna get him back. Akamaru, of course, mastered dominion over the seas themselves. They can't die in the midst of the rocking waves, so they're going to be able to stay safe for now, and you need it. Muckmen need to find some sort of response sooner, or it's just gonna enter a downward spiral at some point.
It really is gonna enter a downward spiral real quick. Right now, Tantalus is down 2 levels because of just how everything has been going in Athena's favor. He's been trying to be proactive. It's not like he's just sitting around on his hands or anything. He's trying to be proactive. He's trying to get things done. But every time he's done it, aside from that one in the mid lane, there has been a response, and the response has just absolutely made everything impossible for him. Like I said before, the ult onto the Umoja was something that completely shut down anything he wanted to do. But kill in the mid lane? Oh,
Great beads there by Ninja, avoids the knockup, and that probably is exactly what saved her because she was able to also backflip away from that Whirlpool cripple. Just great awareness there by the mid.
that was dangerously close to getting soloed by a guy who just finished the tutorial. That is, man, this guy. You said this guy took a break from Smite. Are you sure? How long was he playing Smite before this?
Honestly, June, I think is what he said. He dropped it, quote, cold turkey, like a bad habit. Dude's
This
trying
guy's a gamer.
He is a gamer. Said, you know, smoking, nah, that's fine, but gaming, gotta leave that behind. Gotta enter rehab for that. But now Ken, at my beck and call, as a relapsed in. So my bad there, buddy. Relapsed there just to go 0-7 so far. So hopefully Ken prove himself with that red buff wreathed around his waist. Has some chances to make some more plays. I think that this Poseidon might just be their key to victory.
It might be. Poseidon can go absolutely insane. He did receive a couple of big nerfs this most recent patch.
That's true.
One specifically to the Trident. Trident was doing way more than it should have, to be completely honest with you. It had pretty much 100% uptime, but an engage on duo side.
Oh, he's got a little stone skin on him now. Khepri just rocks it for the flare, I suppose. A good Desert's Fury, but not for much damage as slowly the Beetle is whittled down. Tito gonna take one kill and then find another. Great job there by the Medusa. Just make it 9-0.
That was just raw damage from the Medusa there. The Neethult was burned just in case they couldn't finish the kill, but it was not needed at all because of how much damage this Medusa does. Right now, Shrew, though, is under threat. Diamond King is chasing him down and saying, you're not getting near these minions.
Instead, Dr. Shrew trying to help him out says, here, I'll help you. Does a vivid gaze on top of the minions. You know, I respect the effort. Maybe try to make them think that you're really his teammate. Sewer Rats, take a Queen Naga, and take the pressure all the way across the map. Might be even looking to take this Gold Fury. Poseidon is aware. Nemesis slowly rotating as well. Akamaru's got steal potential, but now they know that he's there as well. Drops down to about a quarter. Being warded off here by Athena. Leighton will not let anyone get near over their dead body. The Rising Dawn's not going to find it either. Kraken goes wide. The waves are up, and the Gold Fury is down. Taken there by the Sewer Rats. 10 kills in their pocket. One big objective as well. They can do no wrong.
This is a rough start for sure for the Muckmen, but they're not out of it yet, right? There's still a turnaround potential, right? The Sewer Rats had an explosive start. This Medusa is a problem, to say the least. But there is still a turnaround potential. I think you gotta avoid this dual lane for a little while. You gotta let Cat kind of just sit under tower and farm for a little bit. Play towards this mid lane. You can try to look at this Neath. You see that her beads are down. Well, her beads are coming up very shortly, but play towards this Neath. Try to get her. She's a relatively easy kill for this Poseidon to get. You can play around that backflip cooldown and start punishing her. Or look for this Athena when she dash taunts in.
Ooh, and so we're trying to look aggressively for the Medusa, but looking at the level disparities, might want to do your math homework before you decide to leap in all hastily. In fact, you're going to be pushed back in by those Riptides, well placed by the Emoja. Taco doing their job and forcing that ultimate there from the Beetle. Another resource drained away from the Muckmen.
The Phantom Shell was also burned there because of that, just in case the damage, followed up into it. But that is rough, really rough for Muckmen, because now the next Emoja ultimate is not going to have that Phantom Shell, at least if it's burned relatively soon. Emoja ultimate is about to come up. It's got a bit of time, but still, they could look for an engage on it. Nobody on the team except for On Her can get out of it naturally. So they don't have any blinks. They have no other means to get out of it other than that On Her loop. So that Phantom Shell is really vital to the team fight of the Muckmen. And that going down is not too great for him.
Looking just here across the slash lines, the one player that I expected to say it about, and I'm going to say it about anyway, it's Leighton on this Athena. It's a specialty pick that honestly I think might have been worth more of a ban in hindsight just because of the propensity to do so well, building so much damage. Always has been an advocate for the damage Athena potential. We're seeing it right there. Zetan in trouble, receiving that World Weaver as well. In the meantime, Bologna just bullying Dr. Shrew and going to turn them into mincemeat with that bludgeon. Fantastic kill once again, makes it 11.
That is just... Zetan got gone on, but Zetan got away, fortunately. Ooh, the dash is caught, and Cat goes down from the damage from the Viper shot. That is brutal.
I think there's like an apparition of like the line where it's supposed to land. That was crazy. That was Mufasa telling Simba, "Go, my son."
That is just so unfortunate. That you got the leap of freedom right out of there. The Disperse goes out, and one little tick of the dot takes you down. Ooh, that is rough.
5-0 on Medusa too, man. I mean, they're just playing these characters well, and they're playing like clockwork. Look at this, right around the corner, Ninja! The best bait you've ever seen, but not for much damage, honestly. Taco trying to set something up with their friend, and the waves might just oblige. Great taunt to follow up, because now Athena's in the party. A good Kraken for a bit more space. Akamaru stays alive once again. How do you do it, Ken? Question is, can your Nem say the same? Zetan also able to scrape away.
Looks like Zetan's going into a bit more of a defensive build here, which definitely helped him survive for sure there. Going to that Golden Blade, and it looks like it might be Mystical. It is Mystical Mail next item for Zetan. I was possibly thinking of that Pharaoh's Curse or a Beads for him, but he's going into that Mystical Mail, looking for a bit of extra damage. It also helps with this clear a little bit. The Golden Blade helps you with that quite a bit, but the Mystical Mail, a little bit of extra damage, good defense into this, mainly physical damage, but the Athena still definitely hurts, so you gotta still be careful of her. I am just concerned now, because this Nemesis's damage is going to be, you know, still there, but it's gonna be relatively low. She's gotta rely on the damage. And left side, they 2v1 again.
He is just massive. I mean, the snake unhinges his jaw, swallows the cat whole, and might just be looking for this big beetle button next. 13 minutes, 13 kills. They're staying on pace here for record speed run timing. Dr. Shrew finds a bit of poke, but more so just for safety rather than for actual damage assured. Oh, no. Nice there, taunt. This time Akamaru recognizes, I do need to use my beads. A fantastic whirlpool. Will they stay alive? The Moonstrike says no, and a Kraken left as their death marker. Now Nemesis trying to find a bit more. Athena getting that shield off to ensure she stays alive. They just can't find anything, and a nice solo there by Bologna ensures that.
You know, I wish I could say that it was solely because this Medusa is going nuclear. She's going nuclear, right? But that start where she got, or the Athena got the 3 kills at the beginning was just so detrimental to the dual lane of Muckmen that Medusa just has this absolutely electric start that they can't really do it. They can't recover from it because of how aggressive she can play now. She does so much damage. She has the good mobility with the dash, but it looks like Tantalus wants to get more from it, but you gotta be careful what you do here.
Yamoja's on the way. These are doing decent damage to basics, but like you said, Valve, you're costed by your own build with the damage that you have potentially to do. If Cat maybe followed up there in the initial engagement, could have been a different story. Instead, you have to settle for this blue buff, and not even that's assured. It will be taken, but not without a nice little Moonstrike to smack you on your way out the door.
Yeah, Cat was a bit too far away to get the proper follow-up. Unfortunately, Medusa just made the distance too far. Tantalus could chase, but Cat can't catch up as quickly. I do think if another member is able to catch up, that could be a kill, which is an absolutely gigantic shutdown. And if you do kill Medusa, you want it going to Cat. Oh no, not again.
Akamaru puts down the Kraken, but once again just buried at sea right after. Ninja able to escape away from those blades coming after him, and Tedium finds another kill. Unstoppable on this Medusa. Oh my god, this god should have stayed in the closet.
You know, this Medusa character is looking a little good.
You don't say.
A little powerful. I was watching some people play it yesterday, and granted, these people, you know, players like Haddix are absolutely bonkers at the game, so they could kind of play whatever they want. But he was literally spam locking it every single game in solo lane. His game was crashing half the time, don't know why, but he was absolutely going nuclear on the pick. And I think that's also in part because this pick is crazy. And right now, we see that Tito is going crazy with it. That explosive start propelling him into this absolutely gigantic lead he has now. He's going to this T2. Nemesis is here, but is it really too much of a threat? Might have overstepped his bounds.
Decent body blocks, but don't look at it now. They try to take a second glance, the last glance they can before they're overrun by red bodies. The sewer rats, much like the name, they swarm and they find kills much bigger than you might expect.
If we ever kill this Medusa, right, we gotta give it to somebody. As long as Khepri doesn't get it, I think we're okay, right? Because you don't want Khepri getting this gigantic shutdown bounty. But we also just want Medusa dead, right? This Medusa has such a big bounty on her head that it will, I don't know, it might get you 3 items. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but still, this is would be a humongous shutdown in these team fights that are coming up. Shrew actually is quite a bit of a deficit too, not as much as in the dual lane, but oh no, Cat.
No, don't look behind you, my friend, because you shouldn't be looking at all. They get instantly burst apart by the lacerate. Khepri didn't even have time to put up thoughts and prayers. Dude's got the Scarab's Blessing in pocket, just didn't expect the dash to do so much.
That is just... the Jaws theme plays right there. That is just so unfortunate for Cat. Cat's
Snakes
just
on a
trying to
flame
clear a
theme.
wave. Cat's just trying to clear a wave. They're just trying to get a little farm.
Can't do it, not allowed. And now you see Mikanis trying their hand at defending this tier 2. There's just no point at this point. TDM just feeding the beast. Good beads there to escape the slow, and who's on the way? It's Leighton. Instantly, the Z Tantalus having to sound the horn for retreat as his poor Beetle tries to scrounge up a defense around the Phoenix.
It's Tantalus is trying to make stuff happen, trying to get his team going, and every time he does, there's just a defender of Olympus. It is just so unfortunate for him.
Whirlpool, bit off the mark there by Akamaru. Cat puts up a fantastic pillar, actually blocks off completely their attempts to finish off their jungler, and with that, forcing Sewer Rats back a little bit to reconsider their positioning. They're instead going to look for these easier structures, taking down this tier 2 tower in the mid. A lot of tower damage though. Good little rushing waters there to give yourself a bit more health on your carry. And 18 minutes, 19 kills. Sewer Rats once again keeping on pace. 16,000 gold ahead. I know it's far-fetched here, Valve, but what does a Muckmen comeback look like?
It looks like a misplay by the Sewer Rats under a structure defense, right? Because you can't fight them on even footing right now. This Medusa is just too large. Even if, let's just say, Bologna was a big threat. Bologna is a big threat, but let's just say it's Bologna, right? That's the problem. You could try and fight on that. But Medusa is absolutely massive. Bologna is massive, and Athena is pretty big as well. If you could take a fight where you have essentially a 6th player with that Phoenix, right? You can
Argus.
turn it around. Argus, essentially. You can try and turn it around there. They will overstep their bounds, and you can punish them for that. It has to be a play where you are fighting on your home turf, basically. This is dangerous, though, for the Baron Samdi.
They need to try to drop that, wrap it up behind them, because that Hydra's Lament reach does so much damage. It's disgusting. Leighton, you should be under arrest.
That is Polynomicon Hydra's Lament reach. By the way, he rushed Worldstone. This guy is cooking with gas.
No, Leighton,
right now.
I'm telling you, Leighton is like our master chef here in the sewer. I don't know if like the
It's
chef,
delicious.
I was gonna say, he's Remy. He's Remy from Ratatouille. He lives in the sewer, but he be cooking. I'm telling you.
This guy it makes some good food right now, and I know food. Listen, as a big guy, I know food, and I know when it's good. This guy makes some delicious food. This is looking absolutely. I mean, he's been putting on a clinic with this Athena. Don't get me wrong, right? We've been talking about Medusa a lot. I've been talking about Medusa a lot, but this Athena has literally denied every in that Tantalus has had. Every time Tantalus has almost gotten a pick or has tried to get a pick, there's been a defender of an Olympus. There's been something that has prevented him from doing it. Now Medusa can just do whatever she wants and is sitting at left Phoenix, keeping people pinned under.
At the very least, Muckmen are getting time to farm with this brief respite, but now Dr. Shrew cut off with that tier 2 tower gone. Baron Samedi lives forever, but not against 3 people. They go down, giving the Divine over to TDM. 9-0, still deathless. I just think Muckmen literally need 1 kill, and then the mentals all come rushing back. Now Zetan, under a bit of mental BM there, as Diamond King blinks in just to stop their back. Come on, man, just let him go back home.
Diamond King doesn't have to do anything but stand here and keep people away. The rest of the team is not going to come over, right? On her is here to get a little bit of farm. But we gotta just farm up. Poseidon is the only one who's relatively like... Poseidon is still very much a threat to everybody on the
tutorial
server.
too.
Right? Bro literally just came out of the tutorial and
He really listened.
came to... Bro, Smite tutorials, don't know how good they are.
Must be fantastic.
I mean, it must be fantastic. Look at this guy. Absolutely. Listen,
Chad.
he's got 2 deaths, but he's gaming right now. He's actually played... Real talk, he's played this very well.
Yes,
His
he
deaths
has.
His deaths were very unavoidable, right? He's getting absolutely dove, locked in corners, kept there. It's unavoidable for the Poseidon, right? And now he's really what they got to play around. They got to hope this Poseidon Kraken goes up big. He's getting out there, which is good. He's got to assume that the team's coming over to pick on him, right? So he gets the farm, pushes up the wave, makes the wave state a lot more positive for him. At least they won't be pushing to the Phoenix anytime soon. Right side Bologna is still pushing. But this Poseidon's got to be what they group up around and set up for.
Yeah, Akamaru's actually really done such an admirable job. Just goes to show you could take the Smite player out of Smite, but you can't take the play. That doesn't really work, but the point is, he's kind of fragging right now. 22 minutes in. Finally, Sewer Rats are off schedule. Only 21 kills. That shows they're slowing down here, Valve. There's a chance.
There is a chance. A real talk, though. This Poseidon, right? I think that this is the pinnacle point, right? Because the Poseidon is going to be able to do as much damage as he needs to take down picks like this Medusa, take down the Bologna, who really doesn't have that much magical defense. He's got the Shoguns, he's got that Ruinous Ankh, but, you know, I always consider Shoguns as a kind of fake magical defense item. It's a magical defense light, right? The 35 magical protections, all right, you know, 35. It's not really that much. The split protections of the Ruinous, but left side Phoenix, they're looking to protect this Phoenix, that's for sure.
Tedium's there, though, and that's scary. Diamond King's still locked over to the left side. A good pillar, and Cat goes down nonetheless. A fantastic Kraken could find the first kill. Leighton goes down. Huge purse given there to Z10. I just gotta leave. Beetle's gotta make sure their butt's in tow. Fantastic hold here by the Muckmen, and they might be confident enough to look for more. A good route, a fantastic whirlpool, riptided away. Meanwhile, in the mid-time, though, Ninja gonna find that Phoenix, plucking away that bow string. Double dash there from the Nem, does not catch her where she lands. And Diamond pulling on this right side at the exact same point. Left side Phoenix blown up. It might just be the end, but without Leighton, can you do it? That was one of your heroes slowly whipping this bird away. That's got to be animal abuse, and Dr. Shrew gonna get taken out there. Tedium is immortal.
This is rough right now. That went so well to start, and then it all started falling apart because we split up. We had to commit to something there. The team split up for the Sewer Rats, and that was the biggest advantage the Muckmen had. Taking down Leighton was so big for them, and they could have kept going, or they had to commit to somewhere else. They were going to lose something no matter what, but instead they lost everything, which is really rough for them. Now they got to play from this base, looking for that 6-player Titan, and we got a hill to climb for sure.
They got one kill, though, Valve, and with that, they might be empowered mentally to be able to get back into this. They got the Mushroom Charm, Amulets online. Everyone gather around the Sacred Mushroom for health and maybe just a bit of comfort and coziness before the bloodshed begins anew. Leighton's back in, and they can rejoin the fight at a moment's notice there. They're just farming up in the meantime with all the leisure in the world.
Khepri looked for a grab there. I don't know if he actually dashed yet or not, but they're looking to prevent the minions from coming in, but fire creeps are coming in now.
It's just such a foregone conclusion that minions are going to be moving in at some point, and now Nem ult dropped. Khepri might be looking to drop some nice abducts on. Baron pulls into the Kraken a bit off the mark, and Leighton arrives in with a thunderous crash and a bang. Titan down to about a quarter, but they do manage to drive him back. Good Scare's Blessing keeps them in, but this Medusa is immortal. Ninja takes down the Beetle. Akamaru right afterwards, and the game will finally fall. Muckmen come up with one kill, just couldn't quite find the W right after.
Man, we were talking about Akamaru being concerned about this mid lane. My man's was absolutely fine. We should not even have been remotely concerned. He looked in his element. He looked perfectly fine. He was chilling. Man's had like lo-fi hip hop in his ears, absolutely vibing that entire game. That I think that all goes to just the absolutely explosive start that happened in left side, because unfortunately for Tantalus, the Athena ultimate came up and was able to completely stuff what he wanted to do, and then Tantalus just had no momentum from that point on. Every single time Tantalus looked for something, Athena ult was there to counter it out. And it was just, he couldn't do anything about it. It wasn't even that he was playing wrong per se, it was just, he couldn't do anything. It was just not possible for him to make that happen because the Athena was just looking for responses. If Tantalus made a move, Athena made the move right after.
Yeah, that was destructive, to say the least. I'm not gonna lie to you. But hey, it's the first pickup here in the sewers, so we got definitely some room to see some maybe shift ups in terms of the team composition. So don't you dare go anywhere. More Smite in the Sewer pickups right after this. Hello everyone, welcome back to some Smite in the Sewer here. Smite in the Sewer pickups, to be exact, game 2. It's just the fun that you knew, but with some brand new teams. I'm D'Lo, joined here by not a Valve game, better known as Valve and Tess, Almighty Eye in the Sky. And it's still the same old teams, but just some different faces adorning them. We just saw Valve quite the stomping, can't put it any other way. Do we think this time around it'll be different?
I think the teams right now are a bit more, you know, the teams have changed around a bit. There's going to be some reset mentals for this, a bit more fun focused. I think we've also learned a lesson to not let people get their one tricks. And that was definitely a powerhouse that Athena dictated a lot of pace of the game.
Yes.
Get that Medusa ahead, which then completely shut out anybody from doing anything. Like I said before, the Nemesis tried to make stuff happen and was succeeding. And then a Defender of Olympus would come, and then she couldn't do anything. It was just rough game for Tantalus to get anything done. And his teammates just couldn't get anything done because then all the tempo was in the other team's favor. It was just super unfortunate. A series of unfortunate events just occurred.
By Lemony Snicket there. Fantastic book series to look into. And we got a fantastic series of games coming at you. So let's hop into these P's and B's to find out what we're gonna see. It's Leighton and Musi this time as our team captains. Musi leading up the Muckmen and Leighton trying to bring the Sewer Rats another victory here. And Musi, when I told them that this is going to be the captains, instantly, of course, threw their hands up in the sky and said, why? Because now they have to go up against Leighton. And these two know each other, Valve. They have been gaming together for quite some time, so they understand each other's ins and outs, their deepest, darkest secrets, and their greatest weaknesses.
That is a deep connection that these two have. They're brothers in arms and now enemies on the battlefield. Dangerous. Dangerous right now. So do you think that they're going to have the Athena band away?
I think that you do. I think Musi is begging right now for them to let him ban Athena because he knows better than anyone. We've all been in casuals. Me and Tess both have played so many casuals with Leighton where he just fries because, again, this guy is a cook monster. He can flambe, he can fry, he can grill you up like some asparagus if you let him get that pick. So I don't care what I'm giving the other side. There's no Scylla to give Zetan. Give him a Cupid. I don't care. I don't want Leighton having that rotation ability.
I wonder what meal he's cooking if the Athena's banned away, right? Is it going to be like a cheeseburger or is it going to be something really ornate and complex? You know, I am genuinely curious because that Athena did so much work last game. That World Stone first item, it's not something you see every single game, but with such an impactful ultimate as Defender of Olympus, I loved it. Because he went from that into just damage. Straight Polynomicon, Hydra's Lament. He got that ultimate cooldown, that passive the World Stone gives you, and then just went straight for that basic attack, or that amplified basic attack damage from that reach. Absolutely, you were just getting hit by what are essentially bullets from that Athena throwing out those spears.
Yeah, it's like a freight train, a 747 just coming down the highway, backed by the magical power of some random book that's just completely destroying your face. So it's going to be nice, I'd say, if Muckmen do dedicate to that, which I personally think is the right move. And Sewer Rats, of course, I think Music Clan's a really strong player on Muckmen's side now, likely going to be in the solo lane. I've got to imagine Diamond King's rotating probably back to his preferred role of jungle. And you have Ninja Lol, who is a known mid laner, known mid one trick. Ken, formerly in SDL, played jungle, so I'm curious to see how those two work out that role differential. But either way, I'm thinking about potential shock bans or shock picks if Muckmen get that one free.
I am curious because you said that Taco played support last game. If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, right? They went
Yes,
Yamoja.
correct.
And I'm going to be honest, that person went nuts. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
Taco's
surprised with the priority to that Yamoja going their way. But you mentioned the Chalk. Chalk did receive some recent balance changes. I believe they were nerfs towards him.
That's
But
true.
I still feel like that character is real good. Don't worry. His cooldowns may not be as frequent as they were before, but he still hurts. And the style you
does.
play him as varies from region to region. Some regions prioritize that full damage shock style. Other ones look towards that, traditional solo lane tank style. And some go in between. I wonder which one he would go to, but it is still that Shock is so flexible, does so many different things. Also, some people are sleeping on the possibility for the jungle or the Shock
It's
mid.
true.
You know, that's
The
still a possibility.
CDC, as Hydra has also made sure to say to us once before.
We can calm down there. That's
Okay, my bad.
that's a li-
I'll
no,
get out
it's
of-
not your fault.
I'll get
It's
out
not
of the
your
kitchen.
fault.
I'll leave it to
It's-
Leighton. Leighton cooks
listen,
better than me. I'll stick to
it's-
my lean cuisine.
It's not your fault, right? That is a okay.
no.
My thought train was completely derailed because they let the Athena through, banning away the Medusa.
Well, that makes sense too, honestly.
Yeah.
TM was quite literally immortal in that god. Oh, look at that. Leighton proving I can play other gods too. Never could be me. If you give me a mirror, I'm taking that 10 out of 9 times. So, all right, fair enough to Sewer Rats. They're playing with different tricks. And Loki, some sibling rivalry here on their end.
Looks like it. A little bit of sibling rivalry indeed. Thor, a newer addition to the game. Loki's been in since the start. Thor did not come out with the most recent release of Gods, but the one before that. He has seen some people think he's good, other people think he's not great. I do think that Thor pick is a powerhouse that can do a lot. Right now, he's flexible, 2 roles, though I think he's much better in the jungle, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him go there. But like you said before, this Athena could come back up. The Cupid, though, I was shocked we didn't see it last game, and it's here now.
We've got 2 out of the 3 gods that have been released in that former new patch that came before our lovely ladies that adorned the battlefield. Now Kukul Khan being graced here as well. That's a Z10 pick written all over it. Z10 now able to return back to their favorite position, which is that mid lane. And the Neath pick, I've got to imagine with that Afro being banned away, Ninja's picking that one up too. The question is where? It might just be carry since you have a new wasp slotted alongside her.
Yeah, it could be. This new wall also could be going, solo. I've seen a lot of it. Nuwa solo is interesting because you know that style I was talking about before, the sitting under tower with fog. That's what they do. So I would assume that Musy's not doing that because he's not lame. So he's probably not doing that. The Sobek pick up here, a flex pick, solo and support. I do think he's a powerhouse in both roles. Very good lockdown, a lot of kill pressure. That Sob execute, very powerful tool as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it, brew up a storm in either role.
Odin locked in here, so it's a full family reunion here. Happy holidays. Sewer Rats bearing the father and the favorite son, Muckman, the disgraced middle child, and Athena is the final lock. I don't know where anyone's going, but I am scared.
Now, if we're cooking, right?
We are.
If we're cooking, Athena's going jungle, Thor's going solo, and Odin's going support, or Thor's going support, which would be even more wild, right? But
Shock maids.
Chalk being picked up here, I'm not surprised to see it. Chalk's a powerful pick, especially with how Warriors are feeling right now. Or I say Warriors, there's no class system anymore. Which, honestly, W. But the old style class system, Chalk would be in the Warrior tab. But Chalk is also the most ranged warrior there is, at least in my mind, right? Because you do that, throw in, you zip in with that torrent, and then you walk away. You've got that AoE slow, and you throw another axe, and then you throw another axe. You got a lot of poke, a lot of ranged poke. So he's got a lot of, safety, but he also can get involved, get in there, do a ton of damage, and disrupt a lot of what this Thor, this Cupid, this Odin, this Kukulkan wants to do. So I love the pick.
I'm looking around here at the Muckmen, and I'm seeing what they can do to get out of the muck and filth of that Odin cage. You've got tools, surely. You have that Loki ult, you have the backflip, you do have the lurking waters. It's a lot of resources to expand. This Valve has been something we've talked about intensively behind the scenes in terms of when is too many resources for us to expand. If it's just one leap, of course, easy peasy lemon squeezy, we don't need to buy those shells nice and breezy. But if you're having to find yourself using both Axe and Torrent or drop your 4 just to get out of the cage, it's a bit costly.
It is, the Axe and Torrent, last patch I wouldn't be too concerned because those abilities had like a 2-second cooldown. But now that the nerfs have come through, it might be a bit more concerning. But Chalk still has that movement, still has that ability to slip in and out. So I won't be too concerned about it, but we'll have to see if he's the one getting caged. If I'm looking for a cage here, I'm looking at Nuwa. I'm looking at Neath after that backflip's down. I'm trying to get one of those squishies so I can throw my Cupid ult in there, get all that damage.
Will they be able to put the Muckmen in the cage, or will the Rats find themselves in a box themselves? Only one way to find out is get in the game. Welcome back. Sewer, Rats, Muck, Men, Jump, Party in the mid lane. Look at that, a show of friendship here between former enemies. Taco in the mid. What is going on here?
Didn't we say Ninja loves this Neath?
Ninja does love this Neath, but I didn't realize Taco's the one playing the Nuwa. I thought for sure that was going to be Akamaru, but now they're the one taking up the mantle of support.
Well, listen. If Neath is a character that can play 2 roles at least, so I'm not too surprised to see Ninja, differing away from the role she played last game just to, fit the role. Neath is a carry by, trade. She can go that ability-based, more mage-like style, but it still works in the role. Traditional buff clears from both teams, nothing too crazy. Thor starting over on the right side. Meanwhile, Loki starts over on the duo side. So they're going to have a bit different pathing. Sobek taking a lot of poke, though.
Already, that's that tedium difference, I suppose. And gotta imagine Ninja's probably a bit afraid going up against the larger-than-legend carry that the Sewer Rats bore before. Now, same title. Trying to bring pride once again to their colony of rats. That Thor being the jungle on Leighton does mean that Mechonis is the one operating on this Athena. So really surprised to see that he was willing to give that pick up. I've got to imagine Mechonis probably just slopped it away and then just maybe didn't hit the trade button.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if Mechonis wanted the other 2 picks. I think he picked it up and was like, I want to play the Athena this time. Because Leighton picked that Thor and was like, I'm taking this. And Mechonis is looking at the Athena performance from last game. Maybe he's thinking, I want to put on a better show than that, right? And he's got last game he clearly wanted to get active, get involved, but really couldn't because partially because of the pick and partially just because of the game state. And Athena allows you to get involved and get active. So I'm not surprised he went towards favoring this sort of pick.
I know, favoring this right side. Muckmen trying to put down the Doctor. Their PhD for a reason. They're smarter than that. Gotta make sure they're staying safe. Or maybe they're not. Come on, Dr. Shrew, don't make a liar of me. You studied for 7 years. A good lunge shows just how much they've done their homework and they're safe once again.
You were talking about him, and then suddenly he's absolutely going against your word. That's the caster's curse of caster's curses right there. That's perfect setup for it. Almost became true. But he sniffed it out. But something interesting that I see here is this Warrior's Axe on the Odin. Bit of engagement in the dual lane as Tantalus dies in mid.
Taco grabs the first kill. Sobek hunting here for this Cupid, but maybe a bit of buyer's remorse off that pluck. The Heart Bomb finds its mark. One more basic in the tail, and Akamaru's 7 goes down.
That is a powerful play in the mid lane, getting the first blood onto... It went onto Nuwa, which is perfectly fine. I mean, Loki likes getting kills, but Nuwa getting the kill is definitely not something you're upset about at all. Looks like they're trying to get a kill onto this Nuwa, though, and those minions. Ugh. God,
a bit
I
of trouble.
dislike those things.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with your thoughts on the Nuwa, but don't worry, she doesn't have that funny 4 button quite just yet. Just wait one more wave.
The funny Nuwa button. Oh, boy, I'm so excited.
You always just do infinite damage.
Look at the left side. Loki looking for something here. They definitely heard him decloak.
Mechonis, don't you dare dash in, please. Okay, they're hugging that right wall, though. Might not be aware that an Ewok lurks in the bushes. Puts down the phalanx, and Leighton puts down the damage. Taco goes down. The first time Taco's experienced death here in these sewer pickups. Gotta imagine that a lot of these former Sewer Rats players in that last game might think themselves real gods. So now you gotta realize that you're mortal once more.
Definitely. You definitely got to remember that you felt your power spikes, your lead is now gone. Right? That is something that, especially after such a dominant performance last game, that's something you got to, refocus up. And remember that you are not as ahead as you were last time. Look at this right side, though. Ooh.
4 off the mark. Stormcall finds 1. A couple more basics, and Musicland puts the reverse on the 2v1. The Doctor goes down, and Musicland is the Doctor of Death on in. They put down the clown. What a troll. That's disgusting. Oh my god. We're never allowed to go back to music again. I don't want to see that guy ever until like 30 minutes in this game.
That is so toxic. Oh my goodness. Wild stuff right there. Listen, they may have nerfed spam laughing or spam taunting, but that is absolutely wild stuff right there. Ooh. I am shocked that the amount of BM that was just put by 3 buttons right there. And I'm me. I'm a known spam laugher.
It's disgusting. Nice speed bait there on top of Ninja here. We go back to Musi just wailing on Dr. Shrew. At this point, Lane's probably like, I'm sorry, dude. There's not much I can do for you. He clown masked us. Doctor going to be able to return back to their tower without too big of an issue. And Leighton appropriately giving that man his distance.
You know, I wanted to talk about this Odin build and how he's not going to feel great for a majority of this laning phase because of how he's decided to itemize into this Warrior's Axe. Warrior's Axe in solo lane, you know, in dual lane it feels good. Neve went down though on left side and Musi's going deeper and deeper. Shrew, you gotta buy yourself some time. The Sunder comes out, but is it enough?
Oh
He lives with 1 HP. This guy's a criminal. Somebody call the police.
The minions are unfortunately on the scene, but the APB didn't come out quite in time. They just didn't have a description of the suspect. They're able to get back to their side safely. I will say, though, at the very least, 6 minutes in, 3-4? Even game we got here, only about 1,000 differential, and this time the Muckmen are on top. That might change in a second, though, as now we see a bit of an engagement coming out here in the mid. Athena ult about to come out, but Makanis could not get back to their Kukulkan in time. They go down.
25 permanent extra health for that Sobek. Absolutely delicious was that Athena for him. That is a max range pluck, by the way. This guy just finished the tutorial. This guy is gaming. We say that we were concerned about him, and we no longer need to be. That max range pluck, he timed the execute, he held it too. He didn't want to, it seemed like he didn't want to take the kill, but he accepted the fact that he had to because Athena would have slipped away, just with like a sliver of HP, so he gobbled them up real quick, get that extra health, which is ideal then, because we'll see if that makes a difference later on, but this is a tight spot.
The heart bombs and the fields of love, and the field of corpses in a second. Brilliant prediction there of Diamond King's movements. Leighton going to Zig while he does the same and finds the Loki. That wall splits the difference, and that's a blink from Akamaru. They don't care about tutorials. They want to try to get their hands on the real thing. They pluck back a meat piece of carne asada. Taco takes him down. Ninja goes down as well. Through him that solo kill. Cupid trying to put on that 2v1 once again, but Tedium could be in a bit of trouble here beneath the pressure. Shock unfortunately not going to be able to find the kill, and instead finds an Athena.
This guy's a natural. He doesn't need to practice. This guy is a natural. You saw that around the corner. That wasn't an easy pluck to hit either. That was around the corner. Uh-oh.
Oh, Makanis does not realize what he's taunting them into. Only taunt after the two are dead like Musi. Then you can put up the Thanatos clown emoji, but until then you might want to save those blustering words for a bit later. Now Muckmen fry their hand at this Gold Fury. It's Musi on this zoning duty, and it's gonna be Zitan facing the pain. A nice little spare the 9 wins. Unfortunately, a CC immunity. Okay, just a bit more time there with that Athena ult. They arrived to the scene. A brilliant taunt too. Tito finds one kill. Zitan finds the other, and the Gold Fury's got to be dropped.
They drop it for a second, and they're picking it back up again, but Tito's right there. Anvil of Dawn.
Here it comes, finds the stun on Ninja. Taco takes it down there for the Muckmen. Leighton's life is just the consolation prize right afterwards. Now the Queen Naga wants in on the bloodshed too. The Fields of Love drop for the retreat. Musi got to stop dead in their tracks. 7-7 here. Bloodshed in the pit.
Wow. But that was absolutely crazy how that back and forth that was. That's Kukulkan not dying, by the way. We were talking about how Musi was criminal before. All of this that Kukulkan not dying, criminal. There's a bunch of like escaped prisoners in this game right now. There's gotta be some sort of investigation that needs to happen here. Some sort of police that need to come and show up to help. The Mechanist needed some help that not sure police could have provided for him. He needed an ambulance. Fortunately, it did not come in time. Now he needs a mortician.
Unfortunate, and it does seem that the autopsy says you died from being out of position, unfortunately, and Zitan just gonna have to watch and wait for them to get back out of the grayscale. So far, gotta say, a very momentous game in terms of the pacing so far. Tons of kills dropped all over the map. It doesn't seem like anyone is neglecting to get their hands dirty. I just wonder when one team's gonna really find their opportunity to pull ahead.
Okay, so I was taking a look at the builds real quick. I was interested in Odin's build where it's developing. Kukulkan getting God on here, but the taunt away is enough to save him. I was looking at the builds. I was looking at the Odin build. I was like, okay, Transcendence. That's pretty interesting, right? And then I looked at Chalk's build. Book of Thoth, first item.
Dude's
Now,
a reader.
my man likes books. But usually Chalk's going damage. They go that Soul Gem first. But Book of Thoth is a really interesting pickup here. Following it up with the Prophetic Cloak, looking for some tankiness. It is really interesting. I'm really interested to see where he's going with this build. Because this guy, we said Leighton's the cook, but maybe Musie's taking over the kitchen.
I mean, it makes sense. Leighton's been the whisperer in Musie's ear for a long time, so it's a lot of times it's secondhand cookbook knowledge. It's the recipe books being handed down to Musie. He's just following the HelloFresh. And now we're trying to follow Akamaru in that lurking waters. The Fields of Love gonna be avoided. They go back in for the swift execute, but they get their heads on the chopping block instead. Leighton finds the kill. Nuwa goes up. And Makanis goes down. Now Z-Tan's got to try to escape the Thor ult. A bit off the mark, but Diamond King's got to maybe find their way back home. A brilliant wall stops their escape, and instead they're going to trade their lives. Brother lays down next to the corpse of their brother. What a beautiful, poetic death.
I'm going to be honest. I think that is the only time we've seen the break from Smite affect Akamaru. That is, Taco just takes down Tito there. That is a Nuwa moment.
Huge.
That is
huge.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
4-1
It is
now.
massive. Absolutely massive. But I think that's wow. That is the only time I think that the break from Smite has affected him, because he does not. I don't think he knew that Sobek lurking in the waters can go through player-made walls now.
Oh, that makes perfect sense, actually.
Because you
Oh,
said
that's so sad,
he
though.
stopped back in June.
Yes. No, he
That
had
is
no
definitely
idea.
before. That was definitely
Oh,
before
that poor
Sobek could do it.
guy. We're gonna have to update him. We need to get him a little WikiHow real quick. We'll be sending that over to Akamaru alongside his medallions if he ends up taking this game. So far, hey, 9-11, about 12 minutes in. Goal lead slowly but surely extending. Reverse in a second there. Dr. Shrew finds the kill on Amusi, who just dove a bit too deep. Now Makanis gonna be diving back into the back line thanks to a nice little pluck. If you waited a bit longer, you have an execute, but Akamaru didn't read the manual. Unfortunately, was not able to find that kill for the Muckmen.
Was that Akumaru not getting the time, or was that a heart that landed under his feet there? I think it might have been. It was one or the other for sure, but that heart was dangerously close to being the thing that saved him there. And I think it's much cooler if the heart was the thing that saved him. But it might have been. It might have been. But I think it was maybe if he held on a little bit longer. But I don't think he could have, because if he does, he dashes over the hearts there, and then Athena's perfectly
That's
fine.
true.
So he's got to just go for it. Unfortunately, Leighton's off the mark with the wall.
Tries to close the gap. Good damage there. And there's still one clay minion left, too. That's just disgusting. Neath
I
ult
hate that
incoming
ability.
ninja. Here's a call for the Predator missile. It might just instead call out. Does hit Akanis in the face. Able to take that speeding bullet there further mid. Can you take the speeding pluck? Not going to find the mark. And now Akamaru could be in a bit of trouble. Taunted back in. They will maintain safe for now. I gotta throw more credit, though, to Dr. Shrew for getting that kill on Amusi. No easy feat. This guy is a shock main.
Listen, Musi bit off a bit more than he could chew, and Shrew punished him for it. That's just what he needed to do. Oh, the funny Nuwa button.
And the Thor up in the sky. Makanis goes down and Leighton goes in. They might be in a bit of trouble, though. That Aegis won't save you from the big fat block, and you could just be out of block. A good double tap finds the kill on a diamond, and Brother once again lays their head on their brother's chest before they both fall to the grayscale. Z-Tan having to escape. Musie's here, baby. Double kill there on top of Z-Tan. Dr. Shrew gets plucked right back in the tower. Says, thank you. That's where I wanted to be in the first place. Cages and Musie, we're both dying here. You're trapped in here with me. And that tower's gonna finish the job. Does Doctor get away? Oh my god, they do! Akamaru tosses him in the sky just for a little bit of celebration. Yippee! Ninja unfortunately goes down. Oh no!
Uh-oh, in the mid lane, Taco being chased down by Mechanist. Can you get this return kill? You fell down before, but can you chase him down? The dash is well timed, but Taco does not make it out. The shutdown goes to Mechanist. He will fall, but that's a win for him.
15 to 15. This has been a crazy game, and now look at that. Sewer Rats, with that pressure they've afforded themselves through these fights, have actually managed to slowly but surely make their way back and mend the gold differential. Only about 1,000 behind. Gold Fury's back up, but no one's going to be considering it for a little bit more time. I'm just curious again, what's going to be the difference in these 5v5s?
I gotta be honest. I feel like once the ADCs start rotating over, Tito is gonna start making waves, and I need to see Ninja do the same thing, right? Tito was making waves last game, obviously, because of the explosive starts that they had. And I gotta see Ninja do the same thing, right? They proved their efficiency on this Neath, their ability to play this Neath and play it well. And they gotta do the same thing, but from a different role, and I believe with a different build this time around. They gotta see if they can do it. Right now, Cupid's got a bit of a large lead developing. Gold Fury's picked up by Muckmen. They're pacing around it. Know that the boys are coming in from Sewer Rats. Can we keep them out?
Ooh, Diamond trying to keep out the Cupid, but unfortunately might be out of their own life instead. Hey, it's not too bad of a sacrifice as long as you keep it at that. Leighton in trouble. Can Athena arrive before you go down? Not quite. Now Athena might deliver them another kill. The Fields of Love have been dropped. Nuwa ult as well to the sky. Finds good damage there on top of the rest. Tito in trouble. The cage is down and Musi is dead. Zitan takes credit for that kill. 1 for 2 so far in favor of the Rats, but Muckmen walk away with the objective.
Just a, that is a good win for the Muckmen. They lose 2, which is rough. The Rats do get, a fair turnaround. Uh-oh. Ninja. They don't know. No, they don't now.
They are very aware. The Minotaur. No, Ninja, don't go back. It's a trap. Use boost to chase quick. Backflip doesn't come in time as the lunge finds him. Gungir's might right afterwards. Wish you had an Athena ult right now. Those hearts are not for you. Ninja goes down. Lol.
I wonder if Ninja just books it towards the backside teleporter if they get out. I think that they have a bit of a, if they have a bit of a distance to close right there. Oh my goodness, the Aegis comes out, forced away, Taco under threat.
Taco under trouble, but does juke out that Thor ultimate. Will it be for enough damage as the double tap comes through? Tornado as well, doing its own damage. Taco gobbled up there by Sewer Rats. Riquísimo. In the backside, Diamond looks to try to stop the back and really try to stop the heart here of Makanis. There's the assassinate, so execute finds him first. Loki says, that was my kill, but Akamaru's too busy riding the high of understanding how that ability works.
That is a 50 bonus health permanently for that Sobek now. You got to keep count. You got to see if that matters at some point. That is right now that's a double Sob execute, 2. But that is a really good turnaround because the Nuwa does get caught, unfortunately. Taco does get put down, but then we immediately get a response. Also, Akamaru, by the way, dives in right there, trying to save his mid laner. Unfortunately, is unable to, and dashes away immediately, and is buying time for his Loki to get in there. That is just... You just wait around, wait for the Loki to get in, and then you get involved again. This guy, yeah, he took a break from Smite, but he's still here. He's still a gamer.
Tutorials, bro. I'm telling you, those things.
Don't give the tutorial too much credit.
Credit to the programmers, man. They made some good tutorials.
Listen, they made a good video game.
Leighton's trying to show you a just about tutorial of how to play Zeus. You just hit them in the back of the head with the hammer a couple more times. Dagger of Frenzy pops. She's not ready to go because they got Loki backing them up. Unfortunately, it's Tedium wrapping around that backside. Leighton just trying to pull off a bait of their own. Tedium finds some decent damage already. The Fields of Love have been dropped. There's the Assassinate to try to get back to safety. They will, but can Ninja do the same? There's a double tap off the mark. Backflip to get a bit more space. Loki waits around the corner, tries to back her up, finds some decent damage with the Dancing Blades, but unfortunately Tito already dancing on Ninja's corpse, and Athena's on the way too.
The Bloodforged shield was, just a safety precaution, but the Defender of Olympus comes in. Loki's got to try to sneak away. Looks like he will for now. Is he going back in?
This could be disgusting. The fog is going to be just a bit unnecessary given that he already has some invisibility, but we appreciate it nonetheless. Trying to follow up, no invis left. Diamond King wants to make sure that they're being under the radar here. Tedium could be the next apple of their eye. Gungir's Might immunes that tail whip knockup, and Zitan tries to cut off their path. Taco separated from the rest of the team, just gotta wait where the rest can actually have a little bit of a rendezvous beneath this tier 1 tower.
The team beads was burned. The Talisman of Purification was burned there from a Sobek pluck. That was Mechanist burned it, I believe, for himself. They have 2 of them, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. But it's still, you know, that is a big cooldown to burn from something that you were really too under threat for.
Naughty, naughty. 19
Yes,
minutes.
but it's you know, I had to look back at this Musiclin build because I wanted to see if it was going to develop into more damage. And it looks like he went defense and he's going more damage again. He's splitting. He keeps going back and forth and back and forth. Is this going to be a Reaver next?
Could be. I never
don't know where this
what
guy's
Musy's cooking
going.
up. Listen, I'm telling you, Leighton, Musy, these guys are chefs. They don't need to go to culinary school, and Sewer Rat's trying to go to banking school, get their money up, not their funny up. Leighton, that ult's nothing but funny, because look at the damage it's doing to Taco. 1 full rotation of the abilities is not enough, and the Aegis used a bit too early. The clay minions. Nuwa summons her White Knights, and they will defend her with honor. Sewer Rat's able to finally get an objective for themselves. No bloodshed actually left on the dance floor.
The right side tower will be picked up though for the Muckmen, so they're not just giving that up for free, which is really good for them. I want to say that the Thor damage did a lot less than I thought, and then I looked at his build and saw that he really only has 1 like true damage item. He's got Glad Shield with all the protections he's building, but he's got, you know, a little bit of damage. He's got some flat pen from the Stone of Binding, but you know, it leaves. You can see it leaves leaves me a little bit wanting, you know, because that Nuwa, with a normal Thor build, let's say he's got a build similar to the Loki, that Nuwa's dead every day of the week. So
Arguably, it's keeping him alive at the very least, but he's going 6 and 6 at the same time.
yeah. So sometimes it keeps him alive, other times it doesn't.
Sometimes it keeps the opponents alive in this case.
It
21
looks like,
minutes.
yeah.
2017, Sewer Rats taking the lead on the kills and still trailing just barely on the gold, 1,500 behind. Just taking a look overall at the level spread here, it's really tight, and unfortunately a bit too tight of a spot here from Akanis. They will go down. Easy kill popped, and now Musy could be the one next dropped. As you see Dr. True trying to get a bit of revenge for that soul lane abuse. Good double tap there. Leighton goes in aggressive. Invis can't find that Loki. He certainly can find Musy as they make their presence known thanks to that torrent over the wall. The Phantom Shell's been popped, and Thor goes in to try to finish off Loki. A great blink in response. Storm Call to respond to the Tectonic Rift. A fantastic pluck here by Akamaru. There's a tutorial for you once again. Just about bounties are dropping, and the bounty on Leighton's head has also been collected by the Croc. Muckmen respond back with 2 nice kills.
Neath backflip, it does not go over Odin.
Oh, this guy is crazy. Akamaru is actually insane. This guy is back like he never left. Someone should have kept this man away from competitive Smite. He's a demon.
Oh, Cupid's gonna die to the fog! Oh my goodness, Cupid took a tick of the fog, and I thought if he took 1 more, he was dead. I genuinely thought Cupid almost died to the fog. Oh my goodness.
Spear to the face for Akamaru. Pyromancer started there by Muckmen, and they decided with Z-Tan hovering around, maybe not the best idea. Great torrent to evade the Zephyr. Their Whirlwind is down as well. Z-Tan's got to exit this fight quick, and Musy knows it. Athena waiting in the back ends, but Akamaru's been left all by their lonesome. TDM takes advantage, finds a double kill. Dr. Shrew goes down as well. 2-for-1 trade for a big shutdown. And Makanis, the front line of the Sewer Rats, has been wiped away, and Leighton's trying to take down that smug smile off Loki's face. Invis won't save you from that stun. A great heart bomb to follow, and the king will fall.
Yeah, the Diamond King will fall. That was a good catch on him this time. The Thor damage did look like it was not lacking that time, but he also had teammates backing him up.
Yeah,
it was that's a bit of a skewed view of it. That was a bit of an awkward engagement, to say the least. That you didn't have Tito at the start of it because he almost died to Nuwa Fog, which was absolutely flabbergasted me. He was backing, I assume he had the item shop open, and then he took a tick of Nuwa Fog, and I thought he was going to die. I literally screamed. Like, I thought he was going to die to Nuwa Fog, but he didn't. It was scary, man. I didn't know what to think. But the Pyromancer being picked up by the Sewer Rats and secured real quick. 2 ultimates burned, though, is a little much.
It's just gotta, sometimes it's about sending a message, you know, Valve, at this point. Sewer Rats have been lagging a bit behind the objective game, so it just feels nice to have that in your pocket. Nice little runic bob all snug up inside, and now you can make sure that's right there for the next FG fight. When it comes to that FG fight, though, how do we expect it to go down? How do we hope it to go down? How do we fear it to go down?
If Muckmen pull, they're going to drop it and look for a fight, because there's no way they're out securing Sewer Rats. because Sewer Rats have a Sunder, they have a Kukulkan ult. Right now, they don't have a Kukulkan ult, and it looks like their Muckmen realize that and are picking it up. The Sunder is down from their 15, but they have no idea they're on Fire Giant. At least not yet, at least.
No.
They
I think Sewer Rats think they're being clever, but it's Muckmen who are actually leading them on this goose chase, and they're going to be able to take it. But Diamond King trying to put a bit more damage on top. Tedium finds that Fury, but in the meantime, you've lost the greater plot. Diamond King now try to have to get their way out of the Splinter Cell game. Unfortunately, they sacrificed their life, but it's worth it. Muckmen come away with the FG.
That is a die for the cause, I'm happy for it situation,
Salute.
you know? Exactly. That is an 0-7 situation for you right there. Unfortunately for the Sewer Rats, they thought that they were, okay, we're going to get this Gold Fury, then we set up for Fire Giant or something along those lines. And that just didn't work out. You know, something interesting Tess pointed out before all that happened was I mentioned game one, this Bracer of the Abyss. A lot of hunters seem to be going it if they have int scaling, Cupid being one of them, Medusa being another one. It is a powerful item, and it looks like a lot of hunters have been favoring it, whether it be in this game, it be in other scrims, or it be in just ranked games. Bracer of the Abyss just is on the rise.
It makes sense when you consider the fact that TDM seems to be really favorable towards these int hybrid kind of carries, just knowing his Godplay also plays really mean Sir Nunos too. So going down this path, it's just a walk in the park here for my friend TDM, and so far, 8-1 might just be the baby you got to put down right in their crib, just, you know, travel back in time to when they're a newborn and, you know, quickly press in on the soft spot or something just to make sure that the baby's not bothering you anymore. It's throwing too big of a tantrum here.
Damn.
Muckmen have got to find... I'm just telling you how it is, man. That's being realistic here, because Cupid's been an issue. Now, that might be a bit of an issue themselves. Blocked away by Taco. Neath ult finds her in the midst of the dash. A brilliant work there by the carry. Unfortunately, the other one has to watch it go down. Stormcall finds Zitan, feeds as the response, dodging Akamaru. That Spare the Nine wins, but still can't dodge Tornado right after. Decent damage poured onto the Muckmen. They do have that FG that's going to be trying to sustain their health. Diamond King in the back just making a nuisance of himself in the meantime.
He really is making a nuisance. He takes down the Kukulkan, though. He will fall in response, but Kukulkan is picked up. That makes their defense so much worse.
Oh, and speaking of, Odin gets picked up too. An instant lunge to get back to safety. The Phantom Shells popped, and Akamaru ignoring Cupid is trying to body block away this Thor to make sure they can't get back home. They nearly finished the job, and you know Musi was frothing at the mouth to take down their compatriot, but Leighton will survive. The question is, can the Phoenix do the same? Athena ult dropped on top of the Cupid, but Bashirti dashed maybe a bit less aggressively than they wanted, leaving Dr. Shrew out for the walls. Tito finds the kill in their opposition. Ninja goes down. Heart Bomb on top of Akamaru could be a bit of a problem, but they will manage to distance themselves from the rest of their team, keep COVID safe, and that means keeping this Phoenix safe as well.
Yeah, they are able to save the Phoenix, which was incredibly dangerous, by the way. The potential after Tantalus went down for Muckmen to just kind of walk in and squash them was very much there. Odin was low, very much under threat, but they were able to hold. And that was off the back of Tito. Tito was able to just get in there and do his damage, put in the numbers as, you know, as you were. It is, this Cupid, man, just seems unstoppable at this point. Finishing up that Fatalis now, recently changed in the last patch, bit of a nerf to it.
Thank God.
But still, I hate that item, remove it. I digress. The item itself, right, is a really good power spike for the hunters and makes them much more difficult to, you know, lock down. That is an early Spirit of the Nine wins.
I mean, whacks Akamaru right in the face and forces them off of it. And that just might be the goal. I don't know if it necessarily was to steal. It might just be just try to get a bit of peel and try to buy you a bit of time. Diamond King, though, has eyes only for Zitan. That slow immunity going to be able to get them back out of that field of love right quick. Good damage applied to Tedium. Shut down for the baby. The soft spot has been found and has certainly been punched through. Now a cage. They'll be punching more damage there into Makanis. They go down. Doc is able to get out with their life, but how long will that last? Z10 trying to defend, but Akamaru smells blood in the water. It's a croc, not a shark. Does not matter. Diamond King goes down in trade, and Dr. Shrew somehow still manages to stay alive.
He barely stays alive, by the way. That is a real low Odin. Music cannot say the same, though.
double kill there on top of Leighton, and you know Musy's fuming about that one too. Overall, crazy trades here in the mid lane, all for a tier 2. Now we're looking for Ninja, a good backflip and a really good weave plays down. Finally finds Leighton, some great teamwork here by these old friends too.
That is rough for the Thor right there. Really rough for the Thor. But they did not find Ninja in that situation. That was a lockdown, do the damage I can and just get this kill, get away. And unfortunately, he just didn't have enough damage. I don't know if it's entirely a build difference right there, because the Thor's now online doing a good deal of damage. He's got the Heartseeker as well, but he still is putting in the numbers, but maybe it's just not enough.
I mean, Taco is there also plugging some numbers of their own. 11 and 3. We've been talking about Tedium a lot, but talking about the offensive weaponry that Muckmen have, this Nuwa has been a force to be reckoned with. Full build at this point, Soul Reaver online. That 4 button does a lot more than make us laugh.
Oh yeah, the funny Nuwa button. You love the funny Nuwa button. But the the damage now from this Nuwa has kind of peaked. Obviously, she's got the Archmage's gem now. She's got one more power spike, and that is the Intelligence 3k pot, which she may or may not have. We don't know yet. But it is almost at its complete climax, the damage she could do with that ultimate. So, this Nuwa's scary. The funny Nuwa button is no longer funny when you get hit for 700, 800 damage, you know?
Yeah, that point's the infuriating Nuwa button.
Mm-hmm. It is very, very upsetting. Maybe I feel like in these fights, you got to look at this Nuwa a bit more. You can't just, accept the fact that she's going to be able to do this damage. I want to see Thor and Shrew look down on this Nuwa and maybe just pick her off.
I agree. I think you're looking at Tedium on the side of Muckmen to try to take down first and trying to eat some tacos to go. If you're sewer rats, live moss and all that good stuff. Tedium trying to look for a bit moss in terms of their objectives. Finding that Fiore de Oro es un Fiore de Oro anciana también, so that's going to be really useful for them. And sewer rats have learned their lesson too, sending members over.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Taco! You monster! It's like taking candy from a baby, murdering Cupid just before they manage to get the last hits on Fury. And the Fire Giant fight continues. It's a 5v4. Taco's not even there present for it. They've done their job, and now Musy's here to do the rest. Z-Tan in trouble. Stormcall calls for home. Dr. Shrew tossed back into what remains of their friend's tornado. They drop the cage, but the Phantom Shell means you might be a ghost in a second. Leighton bonks Ninja in the head, while the rest of the 2v2 tries to see their damage through. Rejoin the fight. Here comes Taco, tossed right back. It's an hors d'oeuvre for you. Lacanis tries to get out thanks to that nice little blink combination with the Talisman. But look at Akamaru. He's too thick. Dr. Shrew goes down. Taco's unstoppable.
This guy had to be secretly playing Smite in the background. There's no way this guy gave up on Smite, bro. There's no way. I don't believe it for a second. My man's is literally a unit right now. This guy's been body blocking. It's much more difficult to body block in Smite 2 than it is in Smite 1, by the way. Just the way characters move and the sizes of them are much different. Sobek is a unit in this game compared to his Smite 1 variant. And this guy is doing it like it's second nature to him. It's too easy for this guy.
This FG might not be too easy. It's 30-30, even Stevens and 2 members, including Tedium, wait around that corner. Diamond King's trying to ward off their brother. This one stays between siblings. Here comes Lacanis going on in. Thor in the sky. Can they secure it? They go looking for Tedium instead. No, it was Taco. Akamaru tries to ward them away. Taco takes the FG too. What objectives can't they nab? Leighton gets blocked. Nathan might be screwed. Tito goes down there to Diamond King first. Z-Tan's got to flee with their life, while Athena's got hers too. Oh, brilliant Spirit of the Nine Winds. The taunt, what's that gonna do right after? So Execute's incoming. You best prepare yourself. Say goodbye to the rest of your friends, Z-Tan. You're dead. Akamaru takes it down. It's just second nature to the Apex Predator.
Second nature, and that is a third delicious meal he has gobbled up. That's also second nature to him, just eating delicious food, and this time it's Serpent. Look at this left side Phoenix, though. This minion wave absolutely shoving in 2 of those bull minions. Right side, 2 or maybe even 3 of those bull minions pushing into that tower. Now they're going to Gold Fury here, and there is no response to this right side wave by the sewer rats right now. You see 2 of those bulls going down. Is that 3 or 2 of them right there? Those big minions. Gold Fury not really going to be allowed to be contested, but Leighton taking quite a bit.
So is Diamond King. They could be the one in trouble. They'll play a bit of a guessing game if you want to try to find them through the invisibility. They do, and gambling, unfortunately, doesn't go quite too well. Loki takes a bit of a gamble themselves. We're not in Vegas yet, guys. But this game might as well be in Vegas. Look at the stakes. Look at the time, and look at where we are in this map. 30-32.
It's 4!
In favor of
4
the
bulls!
Oh, that's a lot.
One of them just... It's 4 bulls. It's 4. One of them was literally stuck on the other ones, and they couldn't. And they couldn't move to throw the boulders. It's 4 bulls.
That is crazy. Welcome to Spain, I guess. Running of the bulls here, down the solo lane. Didn't realize they also hosted that event, but seems to be the case. Gold lead here for Muckmen still. About 8,000 their name, but I'm not going to lie to you. That stops mattering quite soon here, Valve. Queen Naga take you there by the Muckmen, and with no FG to look at here, they're just going to try to maybe march down, finish off the rest of these structures. What can Sewer Rats do to hold firm?
They got to fight under Phoenixes right now, because that Fire Giant is an enhanced Fire Giant. And you're not looking to fight out of towers, but it looks like they are looking to fight under towers. I don't think you want to, but Loki's dancing a little close, looking to poke out this Cupid, but Cupid's not afraid.
Should be afraid of this, though. Oh, no, right on top of the Neath ult, and instantly 3/4 health down. Loki goes in, but Odin jumps on top, says, stop fighting, brothers. And they're going to cage them in. Trouble here for Diamond King. They find their way out for now. Ninja Lul going to be the first casualty of war. Diamond King somehow manages to juke. Not long enough. Their brother finds him in the back line. Leighton followed up there, though, by Taco. Huge shutdown by the mid laner. Akamaru, it's just their instincts driving them, and their instincts say kill. They look to find one, but a great Spirit of the Nine Winds. Makanis goes down. The Croc right afterwards. This is madness here in the right lane.
Well, that went a lot better than I thought it was going to, and I think that's solely off of the back of how much they committed to this Cupid and how much it just didn't work. The Athena ultimate after the taunt was burned was just saved him so much damage. The Bloodforge shield helped him so much, and he just lived for so long, which meant the Muckmen couldn't finish him off. And then Thor just went absolutely nuclear and exploded 2 people because he was allowed to. And he lived for so long because of this. We kept talking about this build and how we were unsure about it. I'm sure about it now, that's for damn sure. He lived for so long.
What is happening here? This is crazy.
Smite
I'm looking forward to the LAN tomorrow, but if we get a game anything like this one, I will click my heels and kick my feet up behind me like I'm talking gossip with my friends on the phone, because this is so fun to watch. It's just perfectly paced back and forth action, and I don't know who's gonna break first.
Listen, we're talking on the phone about Sammy's little crush right now. That's how excited and giddy we are about these games, man.
I have a crush on these players, bro.
I don't know any of them enough like that, so I can't make the same
That's valid,
claim.
my bad.
I can't make the same claim. Listen, right? I don't know them like that,
Good.
so I can't make
More
the
for
same
me.
claim. It is a you know, this
He's
game
got
has
a
been
sparkling personality. I promise you.
This is a nice amount of damage from Taco right now. Holy. But
Respectable.
it is it's nice. Anyway, the game state has been back and forth because you see the lead, right? It has maintained in Muckmen's favor, but it's not like these fights have just been absolutely trounced by them, right? Sewer Rats won that last one, right? They've been clawing at the Muckmen. They haven't been giving up their territory for free, you know? That fog did so much damage to Thor.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness. That was like 1k damage from hitting both the Thor and the Odin.
Oh,
Wild
my
stuff.
God.
We're no longer nice. We're mean. We're angry. That is so much damage. Anyway, this left side, Mechanist clearing this out right now, trying to hit that level 20 point. I think that's perfectly fine to send Mechanist over there, especially with the Defender of Olympus. But Fire Giant's being pulled now by the Muckmen. They're posturing around it, looking to make sure nobody else gets in. But Thor's up, Anvil of Dawn, looking for a target, but will he go in?
Seems the answer is yes. Once again, off the mark. It's ult for ult. These two are joined at the hip as Diamond King exchanges their Assassinate just to make Thor feel a bit better about missing theirs too. Dr. Shrew, recipient of that Guardian Olympus, but one's there to follow up. Stormcall finds two, the cage finds one. Here comes that new WAP button. Spirit of the Nine Winds not gonna find anyone. Dr. Shrew's gotta get out of here quicker. They could be in trouble. Don't stick around for the hearts. Akumaru loves you too much to let you get away with it. They find some decent damage there. They find the pluck on a Mechanis, and here comes a delicious Sobek hors d'oeuvre right after. Athena able to escape thanks to the blink. Dr. Shrew can't say the same. Diamond King serves up their father's head on a silver platter. Look at Taco and Ninja's out though. If you had a new ult, you'd be in trouble. Taco trying to go under the radar here with that fog, but Mechanis looking for him. Tito gets looked at there and taken down there by Diamond. Double onto the Loki. Athena ended up finding them, but Taco's gonna go down for it. Mechanis with a pivotal kill here for the Sewer Rats.
And the Thor lands back down onto the Sobek. Our natural talent man himself does fall, unfortunately. Chalk trying to clean up the scraps back here. Loki's still here, though. Loki's low, but it doesn't matter. Mechanis falls down. It is a back and forth battle. We were talking about how the lead has been maintained by Muckman, but it is a absolute slugfest from both teams.
They are not playing like it. You do not see the Sewer Rats at all. These are the rats in New York, all right? They're the size of house cats, and they do not give a single solitary shit about what you've got to think about them, all right? They are going to walk up to you. You're in their streets now. The Muckmen, they're responding with the same energy, but it's just really impressive considering that Sewer Rats have been playing from behind this entire time. And again, I just say, I have no idea who takes this because it's been a stalemate for so long. These Phoenixes have just stood untouched, their feathers still well-groomed, and Muckman just can't even approach them.
Thor ulted in the mid lane, looking to see if Neath would walk a little bit forward at the speed buff, and Neath did not walk forward. So I don't think anybody saw it or heard it, but that Anvil of Dawn is down, and they're passing each other in the hallway. Just looking. Stopping to the ward, the D ward. Shrew does not even contest Musi there. Musi just gets it for free. Poke going back and forth. They're staring at each other. Where's Axe Proc? Intense battle here. The distraction. That was so good. The distraction tactics right there. Absolutely.
Wait, actually,
wild.
it might be the case. Diamond's in the back line. Hold on. This is about to end like the Red Wedding. I do not look forward to this. As they look for tedium, and there it happens. A holy matrimony only ended with sacred bloodshed. You see Nuwa take to this guy to try to find where the rest of them are hiding and smoke them all out. Musi takes quite a bit of damage there from the double tap tornado combination. I might have to wait for a little bit of a rain dance. Diamond has had enough with pleasantries. They go back in for Zetan. A bit of snakeskin boots on the side of that Cupid. Diamond King will sacrifice their life for it, and now Thor can't find their brother. What more can they find instead? They look in the mid lane for Taco. They want that 1v1, but it's a great Aegis to try to save them. Metal Shards slap against the Aegis. The fog fight ended though. Musi trying to protect their mid. Ninja with the final hit, and Leighton goes down.
Oh, that was a nail biter right there. Look at Mechanis though. He's getting into position, trying to buy some time to dash out, but will he slip away? Barely does. They're getting this mid Phoenix. Are they going to go further? They're looking towards this end. Taco is low, but everybody else is pretty healthy.
The Muckmen trying to find redemption. They only had 1 kill last time. Now they've found 40. And now they're looking for the Titan on top, the Apex Predator. They're looking at this Titan and to see what other kills they can find on top. A delicious snack could just be this Dr. Shrew. Oh, so tasty. And victory, oh, so sweet.
Delicioso. It tastes amazing. The victory right there. That was a back and forth. You think we're on a swing?
Hell?
You think we're on a swing or a seesaw? Like, that is insane.
I can't wait to talk to them in the Discord about this real quick. dude, nah. Taco ulting Tedium. I don't know if he knew he was on that Gold Fury, but Tedium must have been heartbroken. A single tear rolling down his cheek as he sees the Ancient Fury 1 basic away from death, and the Heart Bomb just explodes right as he returns back to center pit. Disgusting work on these teams. We've got to elect an MVP. Who is it you think is going to be on each team?
Listen, Taco did put in the numbers. That is a lot of player damage, but Akumaru, man,
Akumaru!
That man's literally has not played Smite for like 6 months. He downloaded Smite 2, played the tutorial, and is a natural. This guy is gaming. right now.
Get him on the
Absolutely
SPL.
gaming.
Anyone who needs a sub for Atlanta tomorrow,
Hit up our boy.
I think I got someone for you. But man, that was quite literally the opposite of what we saw before. It was a stomp fest prior, and this time they came back. The bullied came back to find their bluster, and they delivered. Muckmen on top. Musi leading their team to victory. Leighton giving it all their best efforts. But we got more games coming at you. I don't know if they can fill up the shoes of that one, but we gotta hope at the very least. So don't you dare go anywhere. More Smite in the Sewer pickups after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Smite in the Sewer pickups here. It's game 3, and a bit of a grudge match we got on our hands. The Sewer Rats trying to find vengeance against the Muckmen, led by Music Clan to victory. Last game, I'm D'Lo, joined here by Valvent. We got Tess Almighty Eye in the sky. We got Leighton versus Musi with this legendary face-off once again. A couple changes in the player roster you'll be seeing shortly, but Valve, how we feeling?
That last game's got me excited, man. So excited. That it was so back and forth. It literally, as one team took an inch, the other one took it back. One team took an inch, the other one took it back. It was not even like, even towards the end of the game, where there was a significant gold lead, it wasn't like one team was stomping the other. It was so back and forth between both of them. I'm so excited to see them go at it again.
I'm scared to see the bloodshed they wreck, because man, it was just an absolute barn burner last time around. What was like 80 total kills dropped? Disgusting work. I don't even know who you pick and who you ban out of this anymore. So just to get the rosters out of the way early, we did lose on the side of Sewer Rats Dr. Shrew and McConis. They'll be taking a bit of a sabbatical. Exchanged for our friends Kuma, as well as, if memory serves me correctly, Smork. On the side of the Muckmen, our victors, they did lose Diamond King, a pretty key part of their victory, that Loki playing very well, and they've exchanged it for a good friend of Musi's, Compy. So having that synergy is nice, but that being said, you had some good synergy between Ninja and Taco on Diamond King as well, so I've got to wonder how this chemistry is all going to add up.
You know, especially in games like these, you always have that, you know, together that synergy having from previous games, previous teams. Just being friends is always something nice to have in these in-houses, even though they're not that serious. You know, we're not going crazy here, we're not playing for money, we're not playing for diamonds or anything, but it's always nice to have, because we are, I know, but it's always fun to have, just having a friend or having somebody who you're used to. You know how they play, you know what they want to do, just having that mindset you already know. So it's not, you're not learning something new.
And also sometimes having that friend slotted up against you in terms of Musi and Leighton, it forces you to greater heights, because you just don't want to see that son of a bitch win. So you're going to put in your best, even if we're not necessarily, you know, putting on the galaxy brain strats, because again, it's casuals, it's some in-houses, but as far as, like, you know, landing abilities, just understanding the game state, you might be flowing a bit better than you normally might find, just because you're pushed beyond your limits by that good competitive spirit. And that last game, we certainly saw quite a bit of it. What do you think we want to see here for these P's and B's?
I mean, last time they were pretty standard. It was Aphrodite and Medusa, both very strong picks. Some of the newer additions to the game. It came out, what, was it today or yesterday? It was yesterday they came out.
Yes.
And it was, both of them are very incredibly powerful picks right now. Absolutely dominant in the ranked scene right now, so I'm not surprised to see them taken away. It is just, I wouldn't be surprised to see a repeat on the bans, and then we see the picks either changed up. We'll see if Leighton goes back to that Athena he did in game 1, or a bit of a change up. You know, that Athena may not be the priority. He might want to have some fun. Is Musi going to go back to the chalk? Are we going to see the Neath come back out again? I'm wondering if they're going to, you know, ride out with the comfort, or they're going to look for something else, because again, we're not playing for anything serious here. We're playing for fun.
Yeah, it's a good time to maybe just throw out something you've been wanting to experiment with in a little bit. Like we said, you're in the kitchen. Might as well start to make some alterations to the recipe, and we're going to find out as we get into these P's and B's right about now. So what I'm looking for, honestly, maybe take off a couple of the comfort picks, but I'd say if anything, I'm trying to think as through the mindset they might be having here. Banning out Ninja, you can't because there's 2 gods that she plays, and you can only ban one of them. And Muckman with the first pick could certainly ensure that she just gets something off the board. Does seem, though, we're still trying to target Tedium here by taking away this Medusa.
Yeah, I mean, went absolutely nuclear in game 1 with it. So I don't know why we would give it to them again. That is just asking for a disaster to happen. And Aphrodite, banned away. Not surprised. Both of them powerhouse picks, like I said before. Can absolutely run a game by themselves. And Athena locked in once again, taken away from Leighton this time, though.
Oh, that's a statement right there. I wonder if Musi runs it in the solo just to stick it to him. It wouldn't surprise me. But that being said, it's Compy. Oh no, this could be Compy. And that is such a fun, but also just a twist of the knife in the chest of taking the victory to also take your pick away and potentially do just as well on it. That's a scary prospect.
What if he does better? Oh,
I don't
no.
know if you could do better than what Leighton did in that game, if I'm being honest. Sewer Rats, hey, introduction of Pele with her debut performance. What's this god offer?
She offers that lockdown, that chase down ability that she always has in Smite 1, but she also offers that high physical burst damage. She's a bit more change to her. Not crazy amount, but she has a small dash on that second ability, and she has a ton of movement around the map. Is Anami being hovered as well? Now, Ra locked in, and that very well could also be going solo lane. If you know, you know. Glad Shield plus Phoenix Shield on Ra means chicken don't die. Neath locked in for Ninja once again, as we don't deviate. But the Pele can definitely be an absolute powerhouse as well, but I've seen less of her than I've seen of the other 2 picks that were added. And I think that just might be because she isn't as explosive as the other 2 are, but she definitely can be explosive.
Ironic, especially given that she has an ability name literally called Eruption, but you are correct. I think some of those changes in her transition to Smite 2 have hurt her a little bit, especially, you know, she doesn't have Soul Eater, poor item now in her build. That being said, she still does have options on the table. Flexibility that Smite 2's item operation offers. Thanatos picked up here on the side of the Muckmen. Bacchus and Poseidon going to be looking on Sewer Rats. Interesting operations here on their side, as you gotta imagine Zetan's gonna be wielding that mighty trident.
Probably is going to be. That is a good combination with something like the Bacchus, with now this Hercules as well. Lockdown galore for this Poseidon to have a perfect Kraken setup. Even with the Pele, the knock-up from that eruption we were talking about, having the follow-up to get that burst, get that kill that they're looking for. It looks like the Ra is going to be that target in the mid lane, because that Odin pickup is likely not going mid. It's likely going to that solo lane to face off against that Hercules, which is an interesting matchup in and itself because of how it can be played. But it is a bit of a bursty comp from the Sewer Rats. Meanwhile, the Muckmen probably want to stay around a little bit longer. They want to stick with this Ra heal, with the sustain they have in their comp, and shred you down, not so much. They want to wear you down, and then they got the execute to finish you off.
I'm wondering if this means we're going to see a switchman roles. I know Leighton loves his Hercules, and I know he also loves to stick it to Musi, so maybe deciding to rotate that solo lane role, not wanting to deal with Compy, says Kuma can have it instead. I would not be surprised if that's the case. I don't see Leighton operating this Pele too often, so I'm curious to find out which god is going to be given to which player. But either way, we got 5 gods on each side here, Valve. Which one do you think takes it?
Ooh, I think if the Muckmen can do the style they want to, as in the longer drawn-out fights, they definitely can win it out. But the Sewer Rats do have that fast-paced, burst, combo damage comp that might just be more effective. And I'm going to have to give it to the Sewer Rats.
Can they get their get back, or will the Muckmen just muck it all up for them? We'll find out here as we get into the game. If we get into the game.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, dear.
Seems that the
Oh, dear.
Muckmen have stuck us in place. Ah, there we go. All right.
What's
We're
on the
good.
ground? I'm stuck.
It's all good.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
We got it. It's okay. You know, just got to make sure to, you know, calm down your breathing and make slow movements. And all of a sudden, we're out of the quicksand. Muckmen, sewer rats, welcome to the sewer pickups, everyone. Debut night. And man, have we had a fright and have we had some fights. I'm D'Lo, joined here by Not a Valve Game. As you guys can see, Leighton is indeed operating that Pele, slotting Smork onto that solo lane position. Do not envy him going up against Musi, but what I'm really curious about is Compy in this support role. How does he do?
We'll have to see. This Athena has a pretty decent matchup into the Bacchus, being able to taunt out that Belch, or taunt whenever he engages. He looks to engage on somebody. If it's not the Athena, Athena can instantly respond with that taunt. That is just a danger for the Bacchus overall. It's also a lane that, you know, Neath Athena isn't one that wants to fight all the time, and Bacchus Cern certainly does. As you can see, danger for the Neath.
Oh, but great body blocking there by Compy, stepping in front of those glaives to save Ninja the trouble of gracing that first blood death screen. So nice work there, already showing a bit of their support chops here. That being said, of course, Athena being in this tanky role, we saw it once. How do you feel overall about the divide between those who say Athena does best in the jungle versus as a tank?
Why not both? Like, that's not a... You don't have to confine yourself to one role. You don't have to confine yourself to, oh, she's better in this role, she's better in that role. She functions well in both right now, especially because of how SMITE 2 works. The game is still developing a quote-unquote meta, right? There's still something that you can figure out. Athena support, Athena tank could also just not be tank. You could go support but full damage. It's not something that is like, you know, locked in. There is a bit more of a favor towards this Athena support because that's more of a traditional, you know, Athena build, a traditional Athena playstyle that a lot of players, at least from the SMITE 1 perspective, are used to. But she's always been viable in the jungle. She's always been playable in that role. So both of them are incredibly powerful picks, especially if you want to go with tankier jungle.
Z-Tam might need some of that tank right now. Body blocked in by Akamaru. What can't this guy do? And Taco's gonna get that first blood without any issue. I just realized this guy's played 3 roles in 3 different games, and he executes on all 3. What are these tutorials?
Bro, we're giving too much credit to tutorials at this point. This is a natural.
What is
man
this player?
Born with talent. Listen, the tutorial can help you learn the game, the basics of the game, but we've got talent here, and we're gonna need some talent to get away.
Oh dear God, that's a lot of damage. This time put on a tedium. Bacchus uses that Floppus to try to get back and defend their friend in arms. Will succeed at that moment. Muckmen, though, establishing this pressure through the mid lane is an interesting place to do so. Z-Tan's a very strong player. On that Cuckoo was a significant thorn in their side, and that Kraken's going to be the exact same story. So can't quite blame them for trying to play through. And also, buffing up Taco's certainly no slouch either. Late recognizes that, has to force out the Aegis real quick, but the Pyroclast just does not do enough as Taco stays alive.
Man, that is a loud ability.
Indeed.
You don't, you're getting hit by a Pyroclast. Damn. The Pele there, I could see the... I can see why she's not as explosive as the Aphrodite and the Medusa, that's for sure. That damage was not looking too high just yet. No. Obviously, she's a scaling pick. She likes to get into that mid, that late game to get effective. But she was not too threatening there. Smork, though, looks threatening.
Ooh, no ultimate in pocket, but Ninja showing some fangs of her own, taking down Kuma. You know, that feels good. Those 2 are old friends, too, so getting the get back on them certainly gonna put a bit of confidence your britches. Now hitting level 5, both of these solos are rip roaring ready to go. Music Clan recognizing that, gonna have to play this one slow.
You know, something Smork has been doing, or at least it looks like he's been doing a bit, is waiting for music to jump in to the wave or bird bomb the wave. Then he's putting that Earthbreaker on the ground and then pulling it and pushing it right afterwards. But this is an engage here. The Ring of Spears comes down. The blink out is good. Oh!
Caught by his own spears.
That was caught by the own wall, but the execute comes through. That is so unfortunate for Smork.
Just not recognizing maybe that, hey, even though there's own walls, they save him in those critical moments when it's your enemy's abilities affecting you. It's going to allow some really good pressure here, but Volcanic Lightning going to try to respond right back. The first few blows melt the shield. Music Clan gets melted as well, but Leighton will trade their life out. Honestly, given who they killed, the captain probably just feels good to knock them a bit more beneath their belt.
I'd be happy there if I'm Musi. To be honest, that is a good trade for them, and I believe the buffs were stolen away. I'm not entirely sure on that, but look at Ninja. It's dangerous.
Backflip gonna get her a bit of safety. She wants to fight this. I'm not sure if her Cernunnos is gonna be the best target. She recognized that and backs away, but still, hey, good Spirit Arrow. Showing those skill shots, you can still hit them, and in the day, it's all that matters for Neath. The ultimate, all the work's done for you, so as long as you hit that one, should be in a solid spot here. Not much fun, though, being had here, and you see a rotation trying to respond. Of course, we are playing casual, so very little minimal vision on the map, and TDM might be victim of that exact case. Sounds a bit off the mark, and now 2 pigs being followed up here. The Neath ult trying to find some lamb shanks. Pele makes the slow rotation over, but the damage is already done.
Pele might be trying to cause some more damage here. You look at the way she's posturing. Trying to catch this Neath on a lazy back. She hears her, though. Pele's chasing. Will the Volcanic Lightning come out? She's going under.
She hears her, and now she's deafened by the Pyroclast, but Ninja's going to be able to stay just fine nonetheless. Back's beneath that tower, and so far, dual lane, but recipient of quite a few ganks. Not too much damage there on top of our friend Taco, thanks to a really well-timed Aegis. Instead, it's Thanatos, a brilliant setup. We're having some nice fried-up calamari in the mid. And the solo lane, too, big damage there as the rock comes through, finds the ricochet, but not quite the damage right after. The minions are doing their part, too. Smork Incorporated, they go down.
Unfortunate for Smork. A couple more seconds there, and he probably gets a kill for himself, too. That driving strike was definitely... You could see the way he was posturing. That driving strike was coming up. He was going to push him right towards tower. A little bit more damage. That heal was coming up soon. Super close there, but Smork was unable to finish the kill. This first pickup is Eye of the Storm? Listen. I have seen this item picked up a couple times. And in situations like these, I understand that these are for fun games, right? I don't know how I feel about this item, to be completely honest with you.
Well, I don't know how my friend Cernunnos feels about this gank, because Akamaru's coming in for more damage. Athena ult on top of Ninja keeps her safe, and TDM can't say the same. They will go down. More damage on the box as well. Arrival from the Pele finds good damage on top of the shell. Ninja goes down as a casualty aboard Akamaru with one more blow from the Pugilist's fist. Great work there by the Pele to answer back for the rats.
Ninja walked a bit too close, and unfortunately, the Volcanic Lightning sparks off her teammate and kills her. Pele's looking like a bit in danger here. This is a lot of damage coming her way. The Phantom Shell will buy her a bit of time, but the Blinding Light takes her down. Leighton will fall to Taco there. Gold Fury picked up.
Muckmen is trying to continue to establish what they've made of this lead so far. And no one really here on Surat's try contest. Wisely just decided to get their own farm instead. About 8 minutes in. 8 kills for the Muckmen, staying on time once again. And with this Gold Fury going to be up about 3,000 or so gold ahead. So pretty good spot so far, especially when you consider that they have a Thanatos. These are both junglers that we see here on each team that really want to snowball this into a victory.
You know, Thanatos is a character that people pick up when they're comfortable on him, right? There are characters that some people think, oh, this character's not too great, or this character, all right, he's a fine, you know. But there's some people who also love characters. And Thanatos is, I think, first person that comes to mind, Rat Milk, you know. Rat Milk slams this pick all the time. And I guess it's fresh in my head, you know. We've been sitting talking about Borscht all day. But there's certain picks, like this Thanatos, that just can cook. And then early game is where he thrives. Mid game and late game, he can still get some stuff done. But this 1v1's getting close. Smork doing some damage. Musi returning it.
Let's see if they can get their way in a hell of a cell. Good driving strike, but unfortunately Athena's gonna make this ISO a 2v1. That's just not fair. Smork has reason to be upset about that one. Let the 1v1 stand. Have you no honor, Compy?
Soiled it. Soiled it.
Soiled it.
That is the solo lane moment right there. There's no true 1v1. There's no
Jesus,
true
Taco.
1v1 in solo lane because there's an Athena ultimate and there's also a Neath ultimate. That was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, even without the Athena ultimate. The Hercules with this Eye of the Storm, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember the stats, but besides I remember the damage he took right here. Execute landing right down as soon as he could, real quick.
Ken knows the tech. Ken knows the tech. Leighton's not even on his team, and he knows the tech that Thanatos immediately upon liftoff can recast the ultimate and instantly land back down. Did you see his direct flight time? That's a Spirit Airlines there. Extra cheap and extra efficient.
You could do that as well in Smite 1, but not as quickly as you can in Smite 2. It is something that you can still, but that was literally as soon as he could land down, he did. That was not even like, there was no delay. There was not even a second. That's what it was. It was like an on her leap or something. What is it? This guy in Eye of the Storm, man, this is wild.
He's trying his best to get the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rivals. Unfortunately, the last known survivor stalking his prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the Athena. Taunt finding them in the back line. Good blink to get back to safety. Has no one been able to help my friend Smork? They just abandoned him on an island. We're just out here season 3 of Lost, and poor Smork doesn't know where to go. Except apparently it does. Great work there with the driving strike. A good boulder on top, forcing Musi to reconsider his options. Pele makes the rotation, but bit too little, a bit too late. 3 members of Muckmen here, just show of force here, trying to put Smork into the dirt once again.
Smork is just sitting under tower, just like, help me, because he's just getting gone on all the time. Or he could be dead silent, does not care. He knows his Athena's here, but Athena's now ulting away, going towards the mid lane.
And Smork's gonna be just fine with that. Tries to find the pluck. That could have just been what changed their luck. Akamaru goes down, changes Sewer-Rat's luck. Great kill there by the underdog as they try to get back into the flow of things. Getting a speed bump on top of that jungler is really good to halt the momentum.
It's interesting. I'm genuinely curious to see where this Hercules go. Eye of the Storm is a very interesting first pickup, but you see Pele picks up the Reaper next as her follow-up item. This is a unique item for sure, because the lifesteal provides is probably what he's going for, right? Lifesteal, how it works in this game is both regular lifesteal and ability lifesteal, not, just one or the other. It is interesting. And while I'm not a Pele professional, especially not a Smite 2 Pele professional, I've never played the character. But I'm curious to see how this works out.
Dr. Shrew has studied paleomics, and I'm sure they would be able to tell you if he was around. Unfortunately, not the case, so we're gonna have to wait for the professional opinion.
The good doctor.
We'll be sure to get he's the good doctor. We'll be sure to get the prognosis in a bit. Taco, prognosis is get the hell out of there. You're in trouble. Trying to face off against Leighton here, the Pyroclast. Gonna deafen him, and might be the lights that try to blind him right back. As Taco's gonna be able to get back to safety, but 3, 4, 5 members of Muckmen all positioned here, a bit more aggressively around this Fury pit. Sewer-Rats matching that as well. You can see the mids are not just bothered with their farm, but that's soon going to change. Compy drops the shield wall, and Musi tries to drop down the bird box. Or taking a bit of poke. There's the volcanic lightning hands. Taco in trouble, and Taco's just been cooked. A fantastic pullback into that Kraken. The boulder might save him, but not Leighton. They're already dead. TDM drops down the wild hunt, but it might be you who gets turned to prey in a second. Musi clan goes down, trading 1 for 2. The Rats are fighting back.
Confound is the only reason, Athena taunt, only reason Pele dies there. Pele lived so long, despite the own cage, despite all the damage that went her way, despite the tower dive. But then she was taunted back in, the Phantom Shell ran out, she was stuck, a Kraken went into her, or a Kraken went to try to save her, but too much damage, unfortunately. But it wins out for her team, they get the Gold Fury, they get just... that's a win. That's a huge win for them. Leighton may not be too happy that his stat line's affected, but I wouldn't be too mad about it.
Yeah, Leighton at this point, he might be. Leighton trying to show some bluster here against Musi and Compy. He might genuinely be trying to stat pad, and I can't quite blame him, especially after Taco rocking that crisp and clean 69k damage. I want to try to find some way to beat that. It's going to be difficult, though. 13 minutes, 11-6 so far in favor of the Muckmen. But the gold lead, actually, tilting the way to the Sewer-Rats. So impressive macro play on their parts to play from behind to a point where they're actually still ahead.
Yeah, that is a interesting metric for sure. They're not anymore. Like, their lead is slowly closing, obviously. But there's an engagement on the right side here. Eye of the Storm popped.
Oh, and stasis as well. What is going to happen here? Someone called the time police, and it seems that Compy's been the one arrested. They're going to go down, be put into the slammer. Musi got to try to get their way back to safety. Who uses that? That is actually crazy.
The fact that he used it too, I think he kind of griefed himself. That is the thing with Scepter of Dominion, right? is if you time it properly, it could be the best thing that's ever happened in a team fight or the absolute worst. And right there, it just kind of did absolutely nothing for them. Scepter of Dominion is such a fun item. And I'm going to be honest, I really hope
Nice Aegis.
that was a really clean Aegis. I really hope that at the LAN that's tomorrow, somebody uses it and goes absolutely nuclear with it. And that is such a difficult active to use properly, but it is so fun to see.
It's just crazy. You just like blow a big bubble like you're a 5-year-old at a Toys R Us. Just like, wee, fun, and I can't blame him for it. It looks awfully pretty. I do like the light shows. The purple is an awfully beautiful hue as sewer rats try to turn this Naga black and blue. Muckmen on the offensive trying to finish the job. A good taunt finds 2. Tacos and find the damage afterwards with that Celestial Beam. Could be in trouble as the Whirlpool drops on top, and sewer rats grab themselves another Naga.
Galaxy Brain for you here, right? Unless a fight breaks out. Raw gets pulled.
Ooh, that could be their call to action. The brilliant rebound. We're going for bank shots here, and it seems that it's open. A stasis once again, but that's only to give Raw more time to consider a letter to their loved ones before they die. Great blink back there by Sport to get back away from Yuzi, but Kuma goes down. Sees Antlus right afterwards. Akamaru is here, and they play off Raw Instinct alone. 1 for 2 so far. Sewer Rats feeling the blues. Could be some more pain dropped here by Tedium before they go down. Copy gets finished off, and rejoining the fight, it's Pele. She's got the hot hands, trying to deliver them right to Akamaru. Amazon Prime fast as Cernunos goes down. Look at this speed they're both showing. Those bushes, those body blocks, they won't save you. Pyroclast deafens you and also shuts out the light between your eyes. This Thanatos is dead. Now it's a 1v1, finally being allowed. No Athena to save you this time, Muzi. You got nothing on me. Double kill by Leighton.
Wow. That was just such a back and forth fight there. The Scepter of Dominion. I was about to talk about the Galaxy Brain play that was Scepter of Dominioning before a Kraken, right? But the prediction you have to do that, by the way, is we can't set up for this Kraken, but I'm gonna predict like we know the Kraken's coming because of the short delay Scepter of Dominion has. There is potential for that to do the most wild thing ever, but it's also, I don't know if the delay from Kraken is short or is longer or shorter than the delay for Scepter of Dominion. I would assume it's around the same time, but Kraken's a bit shorter. But if it's around the same time, this is the most Galaxy Brain thing I've ever seen in my life. And that is a searing pain.
No Galaxy Brain necessary. It's just what I like to call the caveman combo. You get a big taunt and a fat beam right afterwards. And Taco is more than happy to 07 salute any time Compy drops that confound. There is a big searing pain on its heels. Now about 18 minutes, 14-12. Once again, just about even Stevens, but Sewer Rats continuing to make strides with their lead.
They really are taking a big step forward right now. They're still being active with this, though. They're not just sitting on their hands content with it. They want to get stuff started. They want to keep going. And even though that fight didn't initially start out their way on the right side, Pele came in, was able to turn it around. There was huge damage. That Scepter of Dominion, Eye of the Storm goes through the Scepter of Dominion. It was still ticking while he was stuck in that stasis, still pulling in. It looks like it's the counter tech. The two goofy items counter each other, one over the other. Gold Fury being pulled now, though. It's interesting.
This could be Surat's chance to get even more on top, but Smork gonna be the first one to go down in a solo kill by Muzi. Searing pain. He's a fight against the stasis. Tedium takes it. My God, what are these plays?
Okay, the fact that the Scepter of Dominion, and that needs to be, if that's coordinated slightly better, that is the most Galaxy Brain thing I've ever seen in my life. I thought, okay, if Ra holds his ultimate for like a second longer, he steals that Gold Fury.
Oh my God. Tedium instead settles on killing Ninja. That's something, I guess, but definitely, I don't even know what to say, bro. Ollie, are we even cooking anymore? I feel like we're just like doing complex physics equations on the board. It's like Goodwill Hunting at this point.
We're doing quantum physics right now, brother. And
we're solving
you know
questions of the universe.
And the experts don't even know what's going on right now. It is wild stuff. This is insane, man. Ra's getting aggressive, though.
Taco could be in in trouble. Aegis try to immune a bit of that whirlpool damage. Phantom Shell dropped on top to escape the cage. And now Musi might go down. A good Kraken by Zetan. The first kill found on a Leighton. A good boulder bounces around and finds additional damage. Smork goes in. They have the Eye of the Tiger. And the first one to be mauled to death is Comfy. As now they have to retreat back. A good Raven Shout gives them a bit more health. Only the minions get pulled by the Earthbreaker. Now Muckmen are shaking in their boots as there goes the blink from Smork. Tries to find Musi, their long-awaited rival. The searing pain off the mark despite the neat stun. Ninja takes the kill. Akamaru finishes off the side and right afterwards. But back in the fray, Kuma goes down. It's only up to Sir Nunos to avenge. And I'm not sure they're going to be delivered the luxury. Healed up here. Taco still smells a kill. Doesn't seem like the sewer rats want any more part of this. Gonna have to find some cheese elsewhere.
I'm still not over the Scepter of Dominion, man.
Let's talk, dude. I think NASA is calling Muckmen right now to see if they can like hire them. There might be some intern positions open. I think that's where they're going. Muckmen going to space.
This Eye of the Storm, by the way, is actually. Listen, I thought it was going to be useless. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought it was going to be absolutely worthless. This guy is just doing stuff with it. It's actually looking useful right now. This passive is looking useful. And it's because of the way this Hercules is playing. He's getting involved and staying involved. He's not... He slips out when he needs to, right? But he's staying in there. That is a lot of burst, though.
Oh, Ninja Run, one more glaive in your back means your end, and Tedium's looking for you. You can't turn now. It's a bad horror movie. It goes through the tower. What just happened? Either way, the result is the same. It's a ninja funeral. It's a pyromancer here, potentially for Sewer Rats. A good two-man confound. Gonna just leave him thinking, what the hell just happened? You see Akamaru around the front saying, no, 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 don't you dare, waggling their finger if they want to try to go for that objective as they pull one of their own. Muckmen looking for this Naga, but also maybe looking for a bit of extra poke on top of the Bacchus.
I'm really confused as to what killed that Neat there. But, that looked like it just went through a tower. But, she still died. Left tower goes down. And it looks like a fight is going to be started here. This Hercules getting involved. Like I said, getting involved and staying involved. Eye of the Storm not popped yet. He's looking to set up for it. Stepping up behind. Look at this guy. Such a menace right now.
Smork is doing what Akamaru did on that Celtic prior, but unfortunately now caught in the CC and could be in trouble. Thanatos in the sky. No one in execute threshold quite just yet. Means that Ultimate's going to find no targets and no purpose. Muckmen now down quite a couple good tools as the Cage and the Hovering Death are both down, and Sewer Rats stand with 5 full diamonds.
They do. They've got all their ultimates, and we're missing 2 on the side of Muckmen. So this fight, the tempo of this fight is definitely in the favor of the Sewer Rats. They have the initiative to start it up, and it looks like Hercules is the one who wants to start these fights. He's walking up. He's being irritating. He's not letting the fact that, listen, Musi has a level lead. He's been trying to get the fight started, but Hercules is the one setting the tempo. I'm behind. I don't care. I'm still going to walk at you. There's not a single care in the world that I have other than popping this Eye of the Storm and walking at this Ra, right? Taunt onto the Bacchus for a bit of poke, but nothing more. Little back and forth.
Now that I'm looking at it, as far as the back and forth exchanges, a lot of healing back and forth on both sides. Muckmen, of course, with that Ra and Thanatos and Neath have tons of sustain, and looking at Sewer Rats, I'm not sure there's enough anti-heal to make up for it.
We gotta get a Brawlers on this Pele, for sure. Like yesterday. We didn't. Hercules could get a Ruinous on. He went Golden Blade. What is this guy doing?
He's cooking. Welcome to the sewer kitchen.
Yeah, but did we break the oven?
I mean, listen, the sewer doesn't have the highest budget, I'm saying, for culinary equipment. Oh, Muckmen. Ankle's broken. No cast in the sewer either. Our healthcare isn't the greatest. Gonna need to call Luigi on the scene. Scepter of Dominion. Only gonna leave Compy some time to reflect on their death as the Kraken finds them right afterwards. And now Muckmen gotta go home.
I don't know what to say about that, other than...
Scepter of Dominion.
I mean, you kept
Scepter
2 people
of
down.
Dominion win.
You're the only one who died there because you sceptered 2 people, I guess. That is, oh, that was a jump in, and then we missed a cage, and then we stared at the wall for a couple seconds, and then we got engaged on, and we sceptered the Dominion to die. Right. Understandably now. Like, there's no other... I'd prefer my support die than anybody else. Right. If somebody has to die in that situation. but wait, Haley's going Devourer's Gauntlet now. What is happening?
Hey, if you don't got Soul Eater, we make do. Country girls make do, and Pele is from Tennessee. You didn't know it, but that's the lore. Lore Lady was talking about it earlier. Now Thanatos trying to build up their own story in the Grimoire, but the damage on top of Zitan gonna find some decent numbers on the way out, but Akamaru taken out on the back end by their opposition to 1-for-1 so far. Searing Pain finds 2, a good collateral, but no kills. That little Solar Blessing could take on a bit more damage and forces Sewer Rats to slog through. Muckmen trying to drag the Naga with them, make their army look a bit cooler since they've lost one of their numbers. Overall, it's a mid for jungle trade, and Sewer Rats are just going to take it there.
There's a lot of cooking in this game, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it's going to taste good or not. This is a ambitious way to build. This Naga does not want to stay where it is. She was fighting to go back to her starting point. Look at the turn, though. Dashing on the Athena in the mid.
Ooh, Tedium takes that kill, hung around that tower line for quite some time. Will they pay for it is the question. They did use that dash aggressively to get in, and now that Gungir's Might assures you're not going to get out except with a pillowcase. Taco shuts them down.
Listen, Muckmen, more like Muckbang. I'll take that for you. Delicioso. That is a... Listen, the Scepter of Dominion is the most cooking they're doing right now, and that's all they need to do. Because if you look at the builds on the other side, I love Phoenix Feather as an item, but I'm not sure right now. Do you really want it that much? There's 2 anti-heal items.
I found a feather.
There's 3 anti-heal items actually. On the 4. I forgot the Brawler's Beat Stick. 4 anti-heal items on Muckmen. I don't know how effective that's going to be for the Phoenix Feather, especially for somebody who's going to be hit by a lot of abilities that are going to have the anti-heal on them. The Divine Ruin on the Neath and on the Ra. The Ruinous Ankh by the Odin, which you might not be around too much, but the Brawler's Beat Stick, you might not be hit by that either, but you're definitely getting hit by that Divine Ruin. Look at this Ra. This Ra is just suffering from the Vortex.
Ooh, you're in the eye of the storm now, buddy. Best watch out before the hurricane finds you. Smork having to find their way back to safety. You do have Divine Ruin now on top of Zitan. That's pivotal because these Krakens have been pretty gosh darn solid. But they haven't been able to find kills. Honestly, neither of these mage ults have really done so since the laning phase. They're just kind of been used in the middle of the fight to reset tempo and just try to find large bursts of damage to open up opportunities for the rest of the team.
You know, on this right side, though, you look at the wave positioning, right? Heavily in favor of the Sewer Rats, and Musi is finally responding to it by getting this proxy off onto it. And it is the Right Phoenix, actually, I heard the announcement, the Right Phoenix is under attack. It is, the wave state in games like this is something that's kind of closeted. It's not something you really notice too much until it's way too late. Odin Cage comes down on the CERN, and now we're in danger.
This is trouble for Tedium, but drops in the rock to try to clear a path. Does succeed. Not quite, as Thanatos just takes the highway in the skyway. There's that Scepter of Dominion, and the Eye of the Storm caught right in. Music Land goes down first, and now Muckmen are on full retreat. A good Celestial Beam buys a bit of time and a bit more damage. Akamaru sends him on a wild goose chase. Huge Searing Pain, but again, no fall to finish the job. Copy dives in off of the Defender of Olympus, but no one left to defend. Might as well just go home in a casket. One big confound, but no one's confused about where the damage needs to go. A fantastic fight by the Rats.
That Scepter of Dominion, I don't know what it did for anybody there other than like freeze a couple of people on the red team, and if it even did that. Listen, this item can be used for, oh my goodness, Volcanic Lightning on a Taco, and we're raw. Never mind.
This guy just run away at the speed of light. Letting it go though, hold on! The eruption! 1 hand, 2, 3, does not find the kill. This Ra's got some stamina, the Pyroclast almost finds him off the back end, but look at that damage. Late game Pele, you have arrived.
Damage, damage, damage. That's just the numbers she is putting in right now. She has a lot of damage. The Devourer's Gauntlet is now fully stacked. That flat pen coming in now really helps do damage to somebody like this Ra, who's got no defense. He's only got that, like, base defense. And this Neath, who has no defense. Thanatos, the same thing. This flat pen is a huge pickup for her. And the Devourer's Gauntlet's maybe a bit late in the build, but I'm liking it now because look at the explosion she just did to them. 5 Fire Giants strong, Sewer Rats picking up this Gold Fury and securing it their way. Towers and 2 Phoenixes weakened.
30 minutes about in this game, 21-21. Kills are even Stevens, but there's no doubt in where the lead lies. About 12,000 ahead here by the Sewer Rats. That's a lot of Scepters of Dominions you could buy.
That is a lot of Scepters of Dominions. That is exciting. I can't wait to buy another Scepter of Dominion. Just
Heard
buy
they're
a
on
full
sale
build of
Cyber
Scepter of
Monday.
Dominions.
Amazon Prime fast, bro. Just getting them here tomorrow. Heard
Not
them coming to
mad.
your door. Love it here.
You know what you can use your Prime for? To sub to On the Delo. So you can get Sewer.
Now we're talking.
You can get the
I
Sewer
like it.
without
You
any
can-
ads.
I was about to say you could freeze those ads in place just like a Scepter of Dominion in real life. Aha, now we're getting somewhere. But at the moment, Muckmen, their momentum's been halted in place. They need to find ways to create space in these fights and create advantageous fights for themselves. And I really think that a lot of that part is what you mentioned before. Smork is just so damn annoying on this god, but just providing so many opportunities. You can see it again, wrapping around the backside, trying to find his way in. The taunt already been expended. Can he pull Compy back? Not quite. The dash comes too quickly. Meet the same story, but they got to find a way to deal with this Herc.
You know what Smork comes from? Not the player.
Mordicus? Okay, gotcha.
The saying Smork. You know, the most relevant thing that I could think of right now. Bit of an engage coming out. And found out, Ring of Spears down.
We're gonna have to find out what Smork's made of in this second as they stand outside the cage. They drop the rock in and find Ninja right afterwards. Searing Pain does no damage, and now you're just about to be a fried chicken if Pele's got much to say. As they all go down, Akamaru, the only survivor. Muckmen, Muckbang, it's Nikado Avatako as they eat them all up. Sewer Rats now looking for the end, and they're gonna be delivered. Akamaru trying to use his tutorial skills, how to save a game by Akamaru 7. Not like that. Deicide there by the Sewer Rats. They've gotten their get back. The Muckmen fall in the dirt.
They looked like they were 3 steps ahead right there. That is wild. Me go face, me no trade. We went face right there, took them down. That's what Smork means. Me go face. They absolutely pulverized their face right there. That fight was explosive in the favor of the Sewer Rats. And there's no other way to put it. They got popped.
Just wow, what great. It's crazy to think where we started off here tonight, Valve, with an absolute mollywhopping, and then we got two of some of the best back and forth action games I have seen. And the credit from my side, I'm just gonna give it right here. These captains are fantastic. Music Clan and Latent led their teams very, very well and both put on fantastic performances to their own right. But looking at the stat board, Valve, what you seeing?
I'm seeing a Hercules that stood in front of people and took a lot of damage. 36k is a lot of damage, but I'm also seeing an Odin that did the exact same thing, took a lot of damage. And I see that is just solo laners doing solo lane things right there. Smork may have been more flashy with it, but Musi did his job and did it well, clearly. Because you could see how much damage he took and how much damage he mitigated. 64k, insane stuff. Also, 0 wards from the ADC and the mid laner from one team and the other, and mid lane from both teams. Tough work.
Oh, man. I mean, I loved the experimentation that we saw here. And you talked about that at the desk, right? The fact that, you know, it's casuals. You don't have to really try too hard. You can just get in the kitchen. Start throwing in some things. Paprika, cumin, a little bit of Scepter Dominion on there, right? Why not? A little bit of a garnish. It's flavorful, it's fun, it's crunchy. The textures all blend together oh so well to make some fantastic games. So credit here to all the players we had on the stage today. It's been a fantastic day to start. Valve, what last comments you got before we wrap this one on up?
Scepter of Dominion has the potential to be an insane item if you use it properly and coordinate with your team. Don't give up on it, please. Anyway, that was an exciting game. The Sewers, absolutely volatile, nasty gameplay from the teams. It was a pleasure to watch.
And a pleasure to cast for as well. But with that, guys, that is all we're going to have here for you today on Smite in the Sewer Pick Up Edition, our debut episode. I've been Delo, joined here but not a Valve game. We had Tess, Almighty Eye in the Sky, and also a massive part in helping plan this. Thank them, and thank Morton Man as well, Cash Money Morty, for backing me up with that one too. Thank all of our players, and finally, thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for your time. With that, good games, and good night.